How about that? Supergirl is slated to come out tomorrow night. Tonight, man. How's it going to do? Mixed reviews so far. Maybe not the reviews that they were hoping to get. Tracking is interesting, but things could bounce back. Who knows? The question is, what does DC do from this moment on? Do they stick with their plan that they're already working on? Do they shift focus? Is it already toast? Or can they actually make a huge comeback? I don't know how much a huge comeback is accurate, but can they right the ship if this doesn't succeed? We don't know if it's going to succeed or not. We don't know if it's going to have an elemental type run. It could. Might be tough. But we're going to talk about that for sure. We have some other things when it comes to. There's a rumor about Zendaya and her with Bourne that I think the studio shot down, but we're going to discuss that anyway. And we're just really going to dive into everything kind of going on with movie news currently at the moment. So it's myself and Chris Carr here today on the show. Let's do it, everybody. It's time.
Did you shit in there?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. It is Thursday. Joining me on the show, Chris Carr is here.
Hey,
I could say as always, but man, the last 2 weeks, Thursdays have been rough for me.
Yeah,
I wasn't here the last 2 weeks, so it was our first show
Hopping
together.
around.
Yeah, I know. I was at the Knicks parade last week, which I couldn't miss, and then the week before that, I didn't remember what the hell was, a screening or something else. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it's Disclosure Day. I can't remember. I don't remember that anyway. My brother brought up some story today that he remembered so fondly that he just thought he'd say, "Remember that?" And I go, "I don't. I don't remember anything."
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't remember anything. My mom brought something up today. I said, it sound tracks what you're saying to me. I just don't know how, if it's true. I don't know. We have a lot to talk about, Chris Carr, because not only are we going to get into all these news and our ideas and thoughts about where the DC brand can go moving forward here, we have the competition, which is going on as it always goes on. Right now, currently, Mike Kalinowski is in the lead. He's the one on the leaderboard. I haven't checked Smets's numbers from yesterday, but I don't know if it's going to catch up. But can we get Chris Carr a win here today? So there's already 17 questions in there. She's got big donations. So I think she can knock out Mike today. Why not? Could be all right. Have you heard Mike sing Creed, by the way? No, and yeah, I don't think you ever will, but I'll play what he was singing.
I mean, it's pretty accurate.
Pearl Jam. Singing Pearl Jam.
The tone, though. All you have to do is go.
Yeah, right. He's saying hee-haw. So, I mean, it's the hee-haw is pretty great. I know.
Listen, can a bitch be whimsical, y'all?
Yeah.
Hey, a clip.
You got one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mike Kalinowski will never be beaten, but it's always good for someone to come in and take a, I think even Jen got a clip there the other day. I don't know where was it? Did we have one? I thought she did. Maybe not. We got deleted already. I don't remember. But it was a good clip in the meantime. Oh, here it is.
DJ, you want to buy a girl some new boobs?
It's good. Anyway, so let's talk about this DC stuff because we have a lot to discuss. Chris Carr, you're going to see Supergirl on Saturday, you told me.
Yeah, I was trying to see stuff last night, but my theaters were full when I was able to go to the like fan screening stuff.
Okay.
Which I thought bode well.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to be a good friend. My friend can't go till Saturday, so me and Logan are going to wait.
You guys are going to wait until Saturday to see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So curious when we speak next week, it'll be a very different conversation that we're going to be having because not only will you have seen it, we'll know what it did in the box office and if it does well enough. I mean, the tracking's all over the place. Luke just sent me this, so we'll kind of dive into this first. And so Supergirl is box office tracking revealed. There's an update on this because we read this a little bit yesterday. So let's see. Supergirl box office tracking is finally revealed. Expected 80 million to 90 million worldwide opening. It's going to be a tough weekend. So here's an update. The Wrap has shared an interesting update. Warner Brothers insiders at the studio says anything above 300 million worldwide will be seen as a win for Supergirl. It seems the studio is banking on international audiences showing up, as there is hope that the presence of Matthias Schoenaert as an actor with overseas appeal will help boost the film's international potential. That doesn't appear overly likely, especially as Superman struggled in international markets last year. Still, that was blamed on the Man of Steel being so inherently to America, which arguably isn't the case with Supergirl. That's just the update on it in general. And then I guess we can talk there, because if they have an opening right now, it's tracking anywhere between as low as 39, they said, in the range of 55 to 60 for the high. Right now, they have Toy Story 2 Toy Story 5 that they're going up against in second week. And Toy Story has now, it's probably going to make between 80 and 90 in week 2. So Supergirl will definitely not be the number one movie, but if it can get itself to the 55 to 65 range, if you're Warner Brothers at that point, you're like, okay, let's just see if this thing can truck along and that people can see it. The problem that I think it's going to face, though, is that right now, as of yesterday, it was Rotten Tomatoes. It was like 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, right? And now it's 57. It's 57%. That doesn't necessarily mean that, because the opening weekend, the 57% doesn't really mean much, because the people who want to see it are going to see it opening weekend. The 57% usually hurts week 2 and week 3, because then that starts to add into the audience scores and everything else too. So this movie makes, let's say it makes 50 million opening weekend. I think Warner Brothers is reaching with their overseas hope. I don't think it really is going to play to overseas. I think the movie will probably wind up making, I don't know, probably like 75, 80 worldwide, I think, for week 1. And then I think it's going to have a disastrous week 2, because it's just going to run into Minions and everything else too. I think this movie taps out around 225, 245.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Where do you think it goes from looking at these numbers in general? You haven't seen the movie yet, but as far as what you're seeing online with, reviews, and it's not just people, and I'll say this, a lot of times, like, oh, well, that they were going to hate it. You're seeing reviews from people who normally love everything going, it's okay.
Yeah. And I am bummed about it. And I from what everyone said too, I'm aware going into this that it does differ from the source material. And obviously I already knew that too, just by looking at Creme. But I've also heard from some people that you might hate that, but it might work for you. And that Millie Alka is really, really wonderful in this. So I'm hoping there's enough here that I like it, and I don't have that whole, it's a movie when I walk out. I don't want to walk out going, it's okay. You brought up the kind of Elemental idea earlier of, could this have legs? And part of that was Elemental just did so well overseas. It really, really caught on at the box over there. I mean, the total overseas gross, I believe, was, let me see what I wrote down, 342 million internationally.
Oh, okay.
When we look at Superman did not do as well internationally. And so I think Supergirl, the hope of it really performing in foreign markets really strongly, I don't feel like that's going to happen, because if we didn't do it for her big cousin, I don't know if we're going to do it for her.
Agreed. And I also think that, I mean, regardless of whatever their excuse was to tuning into America, it's like Superman's the bigger name in general. So if he doesn't perform, then that's not going to bode well for anybody else in the super family. But the elemental side of it, it didn't do well the first couple of weeks. It continued to do well because of what we always say on this show, and that's aimed towards children who are they're out of school at that point. So there's nothing to watch. Let's go see Elemental. And Elemental kept building. There's tons of other things in the genre.
Elemental also had the benefit of being a good movie. 'Cause I
it's
remember
true.
seeing that and
It's a
just
good movie.
really
Yeah.
being blown away of just,
Yeah.
wow, this is a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I thought the
Yeah.
advertising did it a major disservice.
It did,
And
and it had less competition in the kids market than Supergirl has in general, 'cause
very true.
Supergirl is going up against kids movies and Toy Story and Minion. It's going up against Odyssey, and then Spider-Man's just gonna send it right to digital once Spider-Man comes out. So it would take a miracle right now for it to get to 300, I think. I really
That's my
do.
hope, though. I really want it
It's
to
to
get
break
at
even.
least to that benchmark. Because
If it is,
again,
yeah.
I just love this character, and
Mhm.
I'm saying all of this without seeing the movie. I know that just the Krypto alone of it is going to mess me up just because of how much that dog looks like Gimli,
Mm.
who just turned 16 this week.
Wow.
So I know that I'm going to enjoy this at least to some extent because I can find those little nuggets every now and then throughout
Sure.
a movie. But I just want this character to succeed. And I want this universe to have a chance to succeed.
I think that she'll succeed. I think she'll be around. And that kind of goes to the overall conversation here of so let me before we get into our conversation, what would you say right now? I know you're hopeful, but what is your head telling you right now, even without seeing the movie, with what you're seeing and with the tracking, what does this movie tap out with in box office? Because this leads into our conversation we're about to have.
My hope is that we hit that 300 mil mark. I don't think it's going to do anything like Elemental did because of the
Mhm.
points that you brought up. I do hope that it does, because what did the Flash come in at? Wasn't that around that 275 mark?
They're gonna open up around the same.
Yeah.
But
I
let's
want it to
see.
do better than Flash.
Yeah, let's see. Um, I'll tell you right now what the Flash did worldwide. Flash worldwide did 271.
271. Okay.
And
So
they're tracking around the
275 to
same.
300. Yeah, I'd be okay with.
Okay, so like I said, I think it's gonna do around 220 to 245
Yeah.
in its entire run. And we'll see if that is indeed the case. But we both think you think it'll break even. I think it'll be at a loss. And we kind of had this conversation a long time ago where I just thought in general, I thought this movie was going to work at a loss just because the excitement wasn't up for it. And the trailers didn't do anything to make. I had this whole conversation the other day of this. They just need more movies. And this is not just DC. This is everything. Everything. Look at what just happened with Star Wars. Movies just need to feel a little bit more special and not just product. And that's kind of what it's been lately. For a lot of these things, there were some special. Someone brought up some like Sinners was special, right? Like One Battle After Another to me was special. Like there's certain movies out there that are special that still do that thing. And the big studio blockbuster superhero movies need to be a little bit more special. Like Endgame was special, Infinity War was special, No Way Home special, right?
Yeah.
Like that type. They need that. Like the genres need that. So what does that mean for DC? Well, I want to take this article from Comic Book Movie and read this, and then we can kind of give our thoughts on the article in general, and then just in where it goes. And now this is our DC fans losing faith in James Gunn. Incredible Supergirl script praise resurfaces amid mixed reviews. The script is the thing that's kind of so the script and the villain are the two things that are getting panned the most right now. James Gunn positioned strong scripts as a cornerstone of the new DCU, but with Supergirl earning mixed reviews and widespread script criticism, his past praise for the film is coming back to haunt him. Josh Wilding writes this one. Mike Kalinowski probably would have guessed that. James Gunn is an accomplished filmmaker. His Guardians of the Galaxy movies ran among Marvel Studios' best, but when it comes to running a studio, being DC's answer to Kevin Feige is proving harder than he likely anticipated. Between bouts of squabbling with fans on social media, that or confusing them with big promises or contradictory information, the Superman Helmer was wax lyrical about only greenlighting finished scripts. He also talked about ensuring they meet a certain standard of quality. The first reviews of Supergirl have been mixed to negative, with the recurring complaint being that the script is not good or downright bad. While harsh, Variety's verdict sums up how many critics seem to feel about Ana Aguirre's screenplay. James Gunn, along with Peter Safran, knew he was launching DC Studios right into the teeth of superhero fatigue. Gunn got asked a lot about how he was going to avoid that. And the key thing he said was, we're not going into production on any movie until the script we have is rock solid. For that was the overriding problem with the superhero overkill era. The film had lousy scripts, which we used as grids on which to layer the visual effects. Gunn was right to want to take the comic book genre back to well-structured screenwriting basics. So what has he done in his second DC outing? He's given us a comic book movie with the worst script that I can remember. Ouch. Criticism like this lands particularly hard because Gunn has repeatedly positioned strong screenwriting as the foundation of the DCU strategy. As a result, his words are coming back to haunt him in a big way on social media. DC fans are starting questioning whether or not he is the right person to be in charge of the DCU. It's important to remember that Creature Commando, Superman, Peacemaker Season 2 all received glowing reviews. Elements of the latter two didn't sit right with some fans, but for the most part, those were well received. Supergirl is the first movie that Gunn has neither written nor directed, but he praised Nagur's work and hired her to write Teen Titans and Wonder Woman. Gunn has called Supergirl's script incredible and said it was above and beyond anything I hoped it would be. In fact, described Supergirl as a beautiful star-spinning tale, one of the greatest movies ever made. That's what he's talking about, The Flash. It's not surprising that many fans are starting to lose faith in his vision. Man of Tomorrow will almost certainly be a fantastic blockbuster next summer. However, Gunn's tastes seemingly don't align with those fans and critics. He loved The Flash so much that he hired director Andy Muschietti and writer Christina Hodson to develop The Brave and the Bold, one of the most important movies in the DCU slate, in now hands of a duo that delivered one of the worst movies ever made. I don't agree with that. I know Chris Carr does, but I don't agree with that. As noted, Noguera is currently writing the Wonder Woman reboot. Despite Supergirl's script being eviscerated by critics, we can't discount the possibility that Supergirl was ruined in the editing room, but Gunn is calling the shots at DC Studios and gave it his approval to be released in its current slate. Then you got Clayface is coming up next, which was Mike Flanagan's passion project, and then Gunn handed over to writer Hossein Amini and filmmaker James Watkins. That was also there was also DC Studios would have had a low budget title in theaters after Sergeant Rock fell apart shortly before shooting. Fortunately, Gunn does have an eye for casting. Millie Alcock's performance is being praised. One disappointing film isn't enough to call for Gunn's head. However, the response to Supergirl suggests that Gunn may need to reassess how closely his creative instincts align with broader audiences and fans if he hopes to sustain long-term confidence in his leadership. I'll tell you, I know Mike gives Josh Wilding a lot of shit all the time, right? Because Josh is a little, I guess, tougher on DC stuff. I thought this was a fair article. I thought it was a fair article in general. I don't think there was anything inside of that. I mean, I don't think that The Flash, you and I are a little different on The Flash. I think the beginning of The Flash is terrible. I think the end of The Flash is terrible. I actually like the middle of it, and I like the core emotions with him and his mom and those other things. And I like, there's a lot of The Flash that
There's
I actually
some good
do like.
beats. I'll give you that.
Yeah, there's a lot that I do like for sure. And I think that there could have been a, I think there's a lot of different movies out there that are worse. He said one of the worst movies ever made. I think that might be hyperbole, but either way, the points that he makes are pretty valid. Starting with the positive of, even if this movie doesn't do very well, it's not time to say, oh, he lost one game. That's it. No more. Can't be the head coach anymore. That is not fair. What you do is, well, what's Man of Tomorrow going to be? How's that going to do? My opinion is I think he needs to shift away. He needs to shift away from the super family now. Do this. You got to you got to throw your fastball. You got to have your heavy hitters. You got to bring in the Wonder Woman movie. You got to develop that Batman movie. You got to get it, whether it's Aquaman or Flash. I saw some executives say, well, we didn't want to do the same slate as last time. Those are the characters people give a shit about. They're the ones that people want to see. They're your all-stars. You're not in a position to do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing yet. You're just not. And so you've got to, hopefully, Clayface hopefully is a modest success. Superman, modest or does well, right? And then you reassess, and I think you can get it back on track pretty fast. But I think you got to get out of the Gunverse and let other creators shape what DC was and the DC lore and everything else, and get out of the Gunverse, be there to shift, and don't just make it about, well, this is my vision. You run the whole show, let other people have visions too, but know where you're going to push it and know what the narrative is. How do you see it?
Oh, I can agree with that tremendously, actually. And I know I'm somebody who's called for, I'd love to see some of the other people in here. I'd love to have some like deep dive characters or quote unquote B-listers like we started with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
But I also started thinking about this of, as a kid, I knew Batman and Superman, and it was mostly because of those Saturday morning cartoons. And so then when I came to watch Justice League, learning about Flash, Martian Manhunter, Hot Girl, that all made sense to me because I had that trinity in place who I
Right.
already knew and loved. And then we go to Justice League Unlimited, where it's, oh my gosh, now I get to meet all these other heroes and they're so cool and this
Mhm.
is so awesome. But you have your core Justice League members who set
Right.
everything up. So I do think at this point, we at least need Bats in the mix because his dynamic with Superman is so integral to how everything in this universe really shapes out. It's one of the reasons why I think the last universe kind of didn't do as well is because we didn't have a camaraderie really
Right.
between Batman and Superman. We saw a lot of rivalry and then we had a dead Superman for a while.
Mhm.
So I think building on that relationship, that kind of tense friendship, having different leadership styles, approaches to how you deal with humanity and villainy, I think that's really, really important and something that they need to get to. That all being said, I also am concerned with this Batman Brave and the Bold movie that's
That's not gonna
slated
happen.
out next.
That
It's
movie's
not going to.
that movie's
It's not. And it's also, if it did, I don't think that's the version of Batman that should be here yet. I don't want Papa Bats.
right.
I don't want him with an actual child of his own.
Yeah,
I
I
want
think
him
that's
still
the
figuring
problem with.
stuff out.
I think that's another thing with Gunn, right? Is that Gunn wants to do so much different. He's like, well, we got to make it so different. And I think different is good, but so far off the bat when everything else hasn't been established. Like if Marvel rebooted and started doing Iron Man and Thor and everything else, like, soon, you'd have to make it different. You'd have to, because those versions of that was really successful and and led to being part of one of the most successful movies of all time with Infinity War and Endgame. And they had like this successful run to where people would want to see. You'd have to switch it up and make it different. Batman and Superman, of course you want to make things different, but not so far off. Like you said, an older Batman. It's like, you know what? Give me a younger Batman and let him establish himself for a bit. And the one thing though that why I think, and I don't know how true it is, but if you're looking at the people that have been rumored for it, whether it's Jensen Ackles and shoot, the guy I've been calling for from 1923. But
Brandon, what is his name?
yeah, I
He's
can't.
in The Housemaid.
I told you my head
Yeah.
head right now is I can't think of anything. I've been talking to this guy for wanting to be the freaking Batman forever.
Dude, I have put my cell phone in my refrigerator 3 times this week.
I'm telling
I
you,
have set it down and just left
Yeah.
it there like a
Yeah.
psychopath. So
I can't.
I'm with you. I'll look up his name.
But whatever, Brendan Sklenar. Thank you.
Skinar? There
Yeah,
we go.
Brendan Sklenar. So those rumors that's who they're looking at seems to say maybe we're not going to do Brave and the Bold. If these are indeed the people that are really being looked at, how true that is, who knows? But then you got. I'll tell you right now that and I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. If you did cast Adria Arjona as Maxima, you reshoot everything that you did and you recast someone else's Maxima and you make her Wonder Woman and you do it tomorrow. Because they need a Wonder Woman movie. Now, this goes to the next question of should Anna Nguyen be writing this? Because she's going to now she went from pretty much like obscurity, right? When you're the writer, obscurity, it's like, okay, no one, he got Anna Nguyen to do all this stuff. Okay, good. What's she going to write? And the first thing out is Supergirl. And now everybody else is going, but she's going to write Wonder Woman now? It's just, now, there's 2 ways to look at this. You can look at Gunn and he can say, maybe this wasn't the right choice, and she can still be on as the first draft, and we'll hire another writer to do this. Happens all the time. You write the first draft, then we're going to hire someone else, retool it, and by the time you get to it, it's a very different script. You could do that, or you could say, I have faith. I know what I saw in the first thing. Maybe, like they said, the editing was some of the problems too, and they really like what they had, and they take a shot. They get the right director, and then tomorrow they forget about Supergirl, and what a well-written script that is. I don't know what the answer is, but that's not it. Heavy is the head,
Absolutely. Yeah, and I really want to see if I can just get my mitts on the actual script because it is hard to tell, and I still need to watch everything, obviously, but it's always hard to tell if a movie actually is the movie that was supposed to be executed, or if we
Yeah.
lost things in the edit, or if things got changed on the day, or if the director took a very different tonal shift or something. There's so many things that go into a movie that we don't know about as the audience, where we watch
Totally.
it and we think like, oh, this actor's terrible or this is horrible. And so many other things came in there. Or did an executive say, I need this scene replaced or I want this cut? So I'm hoping that the bones there were good, in fact. But, we got to remember, I think we keep thinking as fans that James Gunn is one of us and now one of us is in here. And he's an executive now, too. He's a
Yeah.
suit. And so, of course, he's going to say things like, this is the best script I've ever read, or this movie's so phenomenal. He's going to give you the Zaslav playbook.
Yeah, he's got to be
But we
careful
just,
with that though, because it's hurting his credibility.
exactly. But we
Yeah.
all believe him hook, line, and sinker because one of us.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that what we'll see happen is, if it was an absolute script issue here, that they do what most movies do, to your point, is we bring in some other writers who doctor it up. I mean,
Right.
I remember when everyone was looking at like footage of Craven at CinemaCon. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. This movie's so great. And I
Right,
point blank
right.
was texting people being like, I know people who are working on punch-ups of this script right now.
And say how terrible
Like,
it is. Right. Well, but that
yeah.
goes to another question, right? Because
Mhm.
there's a very good possibility you are 100% correct. He's saying what he needs to say. Yeah, it's a great script. It's this and that. But the other side of it is, what if he is 100% being just genuine, and that his taste, he thought The Flash was the best movie he's ever seen, or comic movie ever seen, and he thinks that this is one of the best scripts ever. That's a problem, right? Because
Sure. Then
it's
all of his taste is in his mouth.
right. And so, my question that I would want to know is, because I have not read the graphic novel, but everybody who reads the graphic novel talks about how great the graphic novel is, and talks about how it's just a wonderful, people were excited because of that.
Yeah.
If that was the case, that you were why didn't they just adapt the story? And instead of making so many different changes to it, maybe that's the studio notes of, I don't know, audience will take that. We need to go a little bit more family friendly, or this or that. And it's like, but if you're adapting a story that has been successful, adapt that story. So The Last of Us season 1 did very, very well. And
Yes.
season 2, not so much, but season 1 did that. And I don't know why they always do this when it comes to video games and books. And just sometimes they stick as much as they can to the source material, and other times they just go off to France. So I don't know.
I'm really interested to see the differences, because again, obviously, seeing Krem in the trailers was okay, that's a choice. We wanted him to look decidedly alien, because in the comic, Krem of the Yellow Hills, killer of women, men, dogs,
Yeah.
is a dude. He's a dude. He's a ginger with a beard. And so it was okay. Maybe we just wanted to make sure that he seemed more like immediately intimidating or alien out the jump. I'm interested to see what all the other shifts are, because my knee-jerk reaction usually when we change things really dramatically from comics and graphic novels to film is usually a lack of trust in your audience.
Yeah. I think that would
And
have been scarier. I think it would have been scarier to have him as a regular dude. I think they were trying to make him look scary. I think you could have gotten the dude from Game of Thrones to play him, and the friend,
Mhm.
and that would have been terrifying, as opposed to he shows up with all these things in his face and going, making all these weird head movements and other things, and it's just like he's trying to be creepy. And it's like, you don't need to try to be creepy, just let the character be creepy. And you can do that with just an intimidating actor. And I just saw this, like, Googled it when you said that. And that, to me, they should have stuck with it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that all plays out. But
Yeah.
I do just wonder if they just, one, don't trust the audience to be on board for something that is darker, that is more filled with kind of like the horrors of humanity, if you will. But then we have something like Clayface coming out that
Right.
really is meant to just really be jarring and horrific. So it does feel like this weird juxtaposition of, do we need our super family to be maybe a little bit more like sanitized in
Yeah.
their storylines for an audience? Because I don't think they do.
I'm confused. So Generation Joe, so Gunn hated it from the beginning. He didn't hate it. He liked it. He liked it a lot. That's why he was deciding that he was going to make the movie. Doesn't make any sense. So I think that in general, when you have Krem and you change things up, they should have. They apparently, from what everyone was saying, to try to stay in lock with the actual story, maybe they should have done that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and to be clear, because apparently the chat is not understanding this, I'm not saying it's the audience's fault that they're not enjoying this film. I'm saying if there's issues with an adaptation, I think a lot of times it's the studio going, I think this is too bold
Right.
for a movie
Right.
audience. We need
I
to
agree with you.
sanitize it.
That's 100%.
It's never
I
an
think that's-
audience's fault for not receiving a film well. An opinion is an opinion.
No, I think that
Like-
that's exactly what happened. I think that
Yeah.
they decided and said, "Oh, well, maybe you change things up a little bit." It's like, have faith. If you're going to adapt it, have faith in the story you're adapting.
Yes. Yeah.
And-
Believe
and
that
give-
we're going to follow you on that journey.
There's a reason why it was popular in the graphic novel. Let it try to be popular in movie form, or don't do it, or do something else. Because it seems like, as someone just said, they seem like they overthought it, and they're trying to, and like you said, they get the AI, the chat GPT said, well, they actually should be trying to do this and trying to do that. Maybe you change up this and change that. And it's like, no. And so, but that being said, you've got Clayface, which I do think if they do this right, they can make money on this movie, because I think it costs like $40 million to do. It's coming out at the right time, which I think this movie, I think they should have put Supergirl out in August. But this movie, Clayface, could be a hit for them. I don't know when Lanterns is coming out. They haven't really even, they pushed it back. Who knows what they're even doing with that anymore. And then you've got Man of Tomorrow. Now, at some point, they're going to have to announce what the next movie is. Now, are they going to do that at Comic-Con? I would assume so, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I don't know why else you would. What else are they going to do there?
Right. No, well, they're probably at that point, because I don't know when. So, because Man of Tomorrow will probably be out already at that point, right? Man of Tomorrow. Let's see. Man of Tomorrow release date.
Isn't it next July?
Yeah. The question is, so that movie comes out. When the hell is it? It's supposed to be July 9th. Yeah. So that'll be before
That'll be already out. Yeah.
So Comic-Con next year. If they decide to go to Comic-Con, they might not.
Yeah.
You know, they might not. So if they wind up going, and then the question is going to be, because they're going to start looking, Paramount's going to be looking at this. They're already looking at this, and then they're going to say, okay, Man of Tomorrow. If I'm Ellison though, and this is if you're looking at this, you're saying, okay, let's see what Man of Tomorrow does. Let's see what the Superman sequel does. If that doesn't perform well, and you're going to stick with Gunn, you got to have that conversation. Let's shift the strategy of where we're going, because people are not responding to this storyline. We've got to move to our other characters. I don't think that's unfair to ask if that movie doesn't perform. I would still say to still shift. If it succeeds and it makes more than the first one, and it does great, then you should absolutely say, all right, let's come out strong with our next movie. Like you just introduced Wonder Woman in this one. Let's give her the movie. Let's do it. Let's do a Wonder Woman movie. Let's do an Aquaman movie. Let's do a Batman movie. Let's do a Flash movie. Let's do a Cyborg movie. Let's do it. And change up the strategy of budgets too. Do a Cyborg movie for like $60 million, right?
Yeah. That is the other thing. They've got to rein in these budgets. And I understand when you want incredible, amazing feats to be happening, you are going to have a higher effects budget. Talent is going to cost a lot of money. That's why I think it is smart for them to be getting these more journeyman actors in these roles.
Yeah.
So we can have a lower buy-in, if you will. And also so we get some fresh faces telling these stories. The role's iconic enough.
You know what else is going to happen though too? This is inevitable, which is going to be a pain in the ass for Gunn. The Batman 2 is going to come out, and it's going to do better than Superman. It's going to crush. It's going to be what all the fans are going to be saying. This is the kind of stuff that we need. And then the answer could be, I don't think anyone would care. I just don't. I don't think anyone would care if they started to form the DCU out of that universe. Like if they meaning you just, if you scrapped everything else and you scrapped, I mean, there'd be some people who care, but like if you scrapped all this super family and all that stuff, and you eventually, had, whether it's Corn Sweat or whoever it is, interact with this Batman, I don't know, but I just feel like everyone is going to be looking at the Batman as the solution to DC's problems, because it's the one everyone's excited about.
Well, and at the very least, they've created their own trolley problem, where they're eventually going to have to kill off one of these things.
I know.
And right now, the Batman in its gritty Seven-esque world with, realistic villains who aren't super powered is what audiences seem to kind of grasp towards or go towards. So then if you do that, do you then have a world with super powered people where we kind of have
I know.
more scientific explanations for things, or we just kind of go, hey, no, it's only Batman and his foes who are not super powered. Everyone else, we stay the
Yeah.
course, but we bring them in that darker way. It just, my big concern is overcorrections across the board.
100%, because no shit, Sherlock. Or I know they're not going to do it. I'm saying though, you're going to have that problem when the Batman Part 2 comes out, and it's going to be more successful than the first Superman anyway. It's going to be more people are really going to be like universally more on board, and there's always hate videos and stuff too, but there'll be less of those for this movie, because I think even those people will be shifting their moments like, see, this is what they should be focusing on. And it's like you're fighting and you're competing with your own team member, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
And that's
especially if we are moving forward with any other Batman casting,
Yeah.
theoretically, even.
know.
If it's still a constant comparison to Battinson,
Yeah,
we're not going to move forward.
It's tricky. It's super, super tricky. And they wanted to go a little bit more fantastical, and I think that they should have. They did the right thing. They went more like ultra comic booky with Superman, because they did that gritty thing with Man of Steel, which I love. I love Man of Steel, but they just did that, and that's where that conversation of you got to be a little different. Superman's not the gray-haired world's finest Superman yet at this point, but he will be. You can hopefully get there, but I think that if they led to and they really put together all these movies, they could get to Crisis on Infinite Earth, and they do that as a movie. I mean, that's a movie. You can get everybody back for that. It's like their version of, Secret Wars.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
And it's what they kind of touched on with Flashpoint, or the Flash movie, I should say. And we just weren't ready for that then either. But if we have these movies come out and we have a universe created, you can do Crisis on Infinite Earths and have those like, let's get rid of this version here. Let's do this. Let's combine these. These folks now all live on the same planet. And it's something that, again, you have to build to, though. It's that Avengers level event, and we have to have several
you gotta build. You
movies
gotta be invested.
happen.
And I just don't think anybody's really that invested yet. And sticking with just the Super family, especially when I think the second movie out the gate with Supergirl was a major mistake. I think it was a major mistake, because I just like, even if it was great, I think you gotta build a little bit. You gotta build. And I loved Millie Alcock in this role. Loved her. I thought she was great. I loved what they did with the Krypton stuff and other stuff. I really thought it worked very well. It's the generic comic book shit that they did that was just like so boring. I've seen this a million times. Let's go wrap it up. And then some of the dialogue, but like the other stuff, the stuff with her and like her dad and the things that they did, like that stuff really played. But, and I almost wonder, and I know we have this conversation a million times over, should Supergirl, and maybe they didn't do this because there's been a TV show already, but should it have been the HBO Max streaming show? Should they have turned Woman of Tomorrow and adapted that graphic novel into like 6 episodes of a show that they had, instead of like trying to make up what the Lanterns thing is and then pissing people off with True Detective and all that? Should they have just adapted a really successful thing, introduced her there, and if it responded, then shoot her off into a movie?
I mean, could have worked. It goes back to, though, do we have that same issue then of, if things are on TV and things are in movie theaters, are we giving you like a split in what you're paying attention to? Do you have homework now? Do I have to be caught up on all of this in order to enjoy that? Which, I mean, James Gunn, we're going to get into this, did make it so everything theoretically was supposed to be connected. And now we're kind of getting rid of some of that.
Right.
But it still then runs into, again, and I know they're different companies, but it runs into that Marvel issue of, wait, I had to watch all of this series so that I understand this show? But I had to watch all of this so that I understand what's happening here.
Right.
Oh, no, I don't watch those. I just go to the movies every now and then. Or the inverse of, I only watch stuff streaming, because I have met tons of people lately who are like, I just don't go to the movies anymore, which is pretty wild to me. But I feel like that's the way a lot of folks are moving.
It's the way it is. And it's we're in a TV world though too, because even the way that, meaning that all these Marvel movies, the DC movies. It's like watching television. Well, I missed that episode. Well, you should probably catch up on that episode before you watch the season finale.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, where do you guys think that the DC universe can go, should go, will go? What say you? Are you going to see Supergirl this weekend? Make sure you put your thoughts in the comments. We'll be right back in a second. I want to tell you guys about Hims and Cash App, and then when we get back, we're going to dive into some more movie news. Here you go. You don't want to just lose weight, though. You want to look better. You want to feel better. That's why Weight Loss by Hims now offers access to FDA-approved Wegovy and the FDA-approved Wegovy pen. Wegovy is designed to help you lose weight and keep it off so you can stay on track with your goals. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite, eat less, so success is within reach. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever GLP-1 for weight loss, so there's no needles needed. Through Hims, everything happens online. You'll connect with a licensed provider who will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is delivered right to your door, no insurance necessary. Now, even better, with a range of affordable GLP-1 options, Hims makes it simple to find a weight loss approach that fits into your world and your wallet if eligible. You'll get a treatment plan personalized to you and unlimited dosage changes as needed. If you're ready to reach your goals, visit hims.com/Kristian to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That is HIMS.com/Kristian. Hims.com/Kristian. Weight Loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com. I don't know how far back it was, but Cash App came to the show, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. It's a must. Have to be. If you're not up to speed already, Cash App, it's more than just a safe way to send and receive money. With the Cash App card, you unlock tons of perks without all the hidden fees. Now, enjoy benefits like exclusive early access to nationwide concert pre-sales, you got Kendrick Lamar, Sabrina Carpenter, to name just a couple recent examples, plus discounts on everyday purchases and popular brands you're probably already spending money on. You add your card to your digital wallet, and you make your money moves easier. Cash App does more than you think when it comes to having your back and making sure your money stays your money. Cash App just released a new status program for the way people actually spend called Cash App Green. So when you spend at least $500 a month with the Cash App card, you earn green status. That unlocks benefits like up to $200 of free overdraft coverage. If you overdraft unexpectedly, there are no hidden fees. You also unlock higher borrow limits and custom personalized cashback offers every Friday at places that you love to shop. Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you. If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App card for purchases, you can earn interest on your savings. There's no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirement. Don't let your money sit around and just gather dust. Make it work for you. Take advantage of interest savings on Cash App today. So new Cash App customers can earn $10 if they use that code CashApp10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Cash App Visa Debit Flex Cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, and the Bancorp Bank, N.A., pursuant to a license from Visa USA, Inc. See terms and conditions for the Sutton Prepaid Card, Sutton Debit Flex Card, and Bancorp Debit Flex Card. Cash App Green features savings, direct deposit, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. So Cash App, get it done. Don't let your money just sit around. Do something with it. Cash App, they're the best. Thank you to Cash App and thank you to Hims. Really appreciate you guys being here and them being here. And you guys should make sure you want to help the show, you want to support the show, please go and check it out. Okay. Chris Carr, let's get into some more stuff here.
Okay.
The other thing too, another movie coming out that I was talking about Odyssey and talking about Spider-Man, and those movies are going to be pretty big. Minions will be pretty big. The other one that's going to be very big, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to make money, I mean, sorry, I don't know if it's going to be good, but it's going to make money, is the Moana live action movie. Yeah, it's going to make money.
It's gonna make money.
And
I
I just got the screening for it. And I'm curious about it. I'm not as down on the live action movies as everyone else is. I think that they serve their purpose in a certain way. I get why people have issues with them. I like them. I like Beauty and the Beast. I know that Lion King was essentially just computer animated, the same movie. I liked seeing it. I'm a simple man. And so it was easy for me to just say, okay, but I get it. I understand when people go, they don't need this. This movie hasn't looked great in the trailers, but my kids are excited to see it. Well, at least my little one's excited to see it. And then my wife has some friends in town and they're like, oh, can we go too? And I'm trying to get them into. So we'll see if that works. We'll see if they enjoy it and we'll see how they feel. And that's also one of the reasons I want to go with them, because I want to see what like people outside who just want to go see the movie and know there's a live action movie coming out with, as Moana, but I think it's going to do well.
My husband's gonna go see it like 6 times.
Oh, does he love Moana?
He loves Moana. He's the master of suspending his disbelief. He never knows if Moana's gonna make it. He is thrilled about this movie.
He never knows.
Each time he's like, oh my God. I'm like, you've seen this 7,000 times. We have one of those stupid Moana nacho boats in our house. He loves this movie. Oh,
I love him so much.
He's so sweet, but every time I'm just like,
Oh,
I want you to just like something really good. I want you to,
I mean, it's true between that and Crystal Skull.
man.
Yeah.
He was even an apologist for that Snyder movie on Netflix for the part 1. He was like, it's not that bad. Rebel Moon, that one. He was like, it's not that bad. And I was like, we should not watch movies together.
That's so funny, because PLD just sent me this is the difference. This is the thing. So PLD, when you put that in there, do you think that that's going to be good or bad? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Middle. See, I think you're wrong. I think that's a huge up, because the difference between, say, Supergirl and this movie has legs. This movie has legs like Mufasa had legs. Mufasa did not open big. Now, the difference is Mufasa did come out, I think, in like November, December, or something along those lines. This movie will have legs, because I don't think by the time it comes out, let's see, upcoming, at least I want to see if there's any other kids movies that are going to be competing with it. So you've got Minions and Monsters, which will be week 2. So Moana's going to have that. I think that's one of the reasons it's tracking between 75 and 80. I think by the time you get, because July 17th, the Odyssey, July 24th, really nothing. And then, Spider-Man's going to beat up everybody. But then you just kind of fly into August. And if people are still looking to go to movies with their kids in August during the summer season, you're going to have your pick. Do we go see Toy Story again? Do we see Minions? Do we see Moana? I think that Moana's going to see a lot of that build. And I think Moana's going to start to build throughout August. And I think it's going to do pretty well.
Oh,
I think it's going
to do great.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to do phenomenally. There's going to be like sing-alongs and shit. They're going to make so much money.
Yeah, and 75 to 80 million on opening weekend is also in you're still competing against Toy Story inside your own your own team. You're still competing against the Minions. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that does. But then again, maybe it's the first. Has there been? This is something to look up. Has there been a live action movie that has flopped? Because I know what did Little Mermaid do? Because did Little Mermaid break even?
I remember it doing much better overseas than it did for us.
Let me see. Let me see what the Little Mermaid budget is, because that might be the answer. See, it cost $250 million, which is a crime. We should not have cost that much money to make. Little Mermaid live action box office worldwide, 569. So probably it made 271 internationally. So yeah, they lost money on that one. So that one didn't work. Mulan bombed too, some would say, but that one I'd give a pass from when it came out. It came out right in the middle of the pandemic. Like that it was right around that one I give a pass. I think Little Mermaid. Oh, Snow White. Snow White's another one that ate shit. Yeah, you're right.
Because that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
about 205 mil, and I
Yeah,
think that
Snow White
cost
was a
you 70.
Snow White was a huge bump. So Snow White and Little Mermaid were the two that didn't really work. But then you look at Lion King crushed, Mufasa crushed, Jungle Book. Pinocchio ate shit too.
Yep.
But Pinocchio was, I think, more of a live streaming movie.
And
So
also
it's
so bad.
terrible.
Oh, it's a real bad movie.
It's really bad. Even my little one at the time, we're watching. She's like, "That was bad." I'm like, yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. Dumbo. Oh, Dumbo's another one too. Yeah. So I guess they've had a lot of misses. Yeah, they've had a lot of misses. Dumbo was shit. I saw the live. I went to the premiere of that one with my oldest. I did not like that movie
No.
at all. I think it was like a sequel too. I don't even think it was a. I don't even think it was a.
It was a
Think so.
it was a weird mind trip from Tim Burton. Like it
Yeah.
just was weird. I would love to see though how the merchandising goes for all of these movies.
Merchandising.
Yeah, because I feel
Yeah.
like that's really what Disney capitalizes
Yeah.
on usually is
Yeah.
just, oh, now we have all these toys. And we also
Mhm.
now from The Little Mermaid, even though it underperformed, there's now a Little Mermaid series on Disney Junior that has tons of toys, and that show is in multiple seasons. So I'm wondering if it kind of offsets the cost of some of these flops when we get that reinvigoration of there's a new Cinderella doll. Oh my gosh, you need to get the
It's
Ariel that looks
yeah,
like you. You need to
it's
do
true.
this.
Look, it's all about when they hit, because look at Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch
Oh,
made
that
a
did
billion,
great.
made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So Appeal said he feels like there's a bit of stink in Moana. It's so close to Moana animated. Tell that to Lion King though. Lion King was pretty much the same movie. It was the same movie. Like all the live actions are remaking 30-year-old. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying from when it was made to now.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Which is a valid point. That's a valid point. Like that maybe it's too soon to do this, which is a very good point actually. You might like it could, but then again, just don't the pushback I'd have on that is the kids that saw it, or recently, they might want to see it in live action now because they love it so much. They want to see it. So they're still kids. Like 20 years later, the kids that work is go, I'd like to see a version of that. But this one, the little kids are still watching the animated one and just saw it for the first time, maybe, or just saw the second one for the first time. Like, yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see him in live action. So it could carry over because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Luke asked me what live action we would want to do next. That would do well. The one that I would want them to do, I don't know if it would do well. It'd probably bomb, but I'd want to see the Black Cauldron.
That's literally what I just typed in the chat.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that movie bombed. That was Disney trying to kind of. They got experimental with some of their animation. It was one of the first times they tampered with CGI.
Mhm.
And it's an adaptation of a Welsh fantasy series. And I think if you did a live action film series of that was dark. Ooh, because the Horned King, what a messed up villain. I love that
movie
guy.
when I saw that, and it was a long time ago.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to see something a little bit more like that realm, the fantasy realm, or even someone mentioned like Treasure Planet. That'd be interesting too.
Treasure Planet would be rad. Atlantis would be a good one.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I always thought that, and still, no one ever really figured this out. But I always thought the remakes should have been done for movies that had great premises, but that were executed poorly, right?
Yeah.
And they always remake the good ones.
That was kind of my whole thing with Beauty and the Beast was this was your Academy Award nominated best feature film.
Yeah.
Not animated, feature film. And this is what we're going to remake. Okay. And to their credit, they did try some swings. They did make some changes and do some stuff that's not in the animated series or animated film, I should say. But yeah, I feel like you take stuff like a Treasure Planet that underperformed.
Right.
And go, ooh, what if we do something with that? Because you could do so much cool stuff.
I couldn't agree with you more. The problem is this, that is too challenging for them creatively, right? Because with Beauty and the Beast, that movie made almost 1.3 billion, that live action movie.
Whoa.
1.3 billion.
I mean,
so they took their most acclaimed, beloved thing, barely did anything to it, and made $1.2 billion on it. or almost 1.3.
That's insane.
Treasure
to me.
Island
I
would-
knew Aladdin did well. I didn't realize Beauty and the Beast
Yeah,
did that well.
yeah,
Jeez Louise.
Treasure Island and Black Cauldron would call for a lot of creative help, and that's too much work for the studios.
Yeah.
And I that's what I would rather see, but who knows? Sleeping Beauty's a good one too, someone said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they haven't done Sleeping Beauty, but
Well, no,
they wind up
they did
changing it, though.
Maleficent. So they kind of
Yeah, I
did.
guess so. I didn't like Maleficent at all
I
because
liked the first one.
I didn't, because I don't like when they turn villains into sympathetic characters. Let her be bad. She's bad. Why is she bad? She's bad. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I did Christopher Walken. She's bad. Bad. She's just bad.
She just lives in the forest
Just
doing
lives
bad
there.
things.
Leave her alone. Let her be. I can't do it. Walken. I never was able to, but I was so bummed though, because I had a bit that I came up, my buddy and I, we talked about it. Apparently they did this bit. And I was like, oh, I thought it was so clever because I came up with it. I said, like, I want to do a sketch of like a walk-in closet, but it's Christopher Walken in the closet. And when you open it up, he's like, it's cold outside. Put on a sweater. It's like, you sure you want those shoes? They're last year's. Throw them out. But it's so stupid. I don't know. I brought that up. Anyway, Cruella is another one that was good. Someone brought up Cruella was a good one.
Yeah, I had that issue though too of like, I don't know if I want to root for somebody who makes coats out of dogs. And I know they like sidestepped that,
right.
but still going into it was no, you talk about skinning puppies. I
Yeah,
don't
right.
want to root for you.
He did a good job of it, though. I like
Yeah.
that movie. I dug that movie. Oh, that's one. That is one I would love. Great. Thank you for bringing that up. I will tell you the next one I want to see that I think could do well if they and that to answer Luke's question. I know the movie. Someone brought it up. The movie that would do well if done well and kids would go and want to see it is the Robin Hood Fox movie.
Oh, but older audiences would be too horny. People are
What do you
already
mean?
too horny for that movie, Christian.
What do you mean?
There are so many weird people on the internet who are like, my first crush, the Foxes and Robin Hood. It changed me. Like that movie. That
All
movie I
circles
think
you
led to
running in.
furries. And I'm not here to kink shame anyone, but
All right. Well, what then? Good. Let people get excited about it. Either
chat, you back me up here. People would be horny. Don't make
So
me look
weird.
crazy.
hey, listen. I want to see that movie because I loved that movie as a kid. I remember little me listening to Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest. I loved it. I loved that movie. It was one of my favorites. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see how they were gonna, if they actually did it, and they would, and that would be one that they wouldn't have to change anything, because like Sleeping Beauty, they would change stuff. And it's like, well, she doesn't need a prince to come and kiss her. And it's like, but this is like, to me, Robin Hood, they could do the way that they did it, and they could even, even do some of the same voices. They find a way to do, someone doing maybe not an impression, but to pay
You get
homage.
sound alike.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. That's I do that for Disney auditions all the time, where it's, hey, we need you to try to voice match this performance from the 1960s.
Yeah, it's true. Well, Hercules is another one that this
Hercules would do great. Well, that's
Are
a
they-
Broadway show now. It's already in the West End.
What? Oh, Tarzan was the one that I saw. I actually saw Tarzan. I remember that a long time ago. But maybe we should send this to Smets too, to have turn it into a short. But either way, I like where that conversation went. It was interesting. I liked it. And just like that, we made it to the questions. So let's do it. Let's get to the questions. So let's get Chris Carr a win here. She needs to monetarily beat Mike and Jen, who are on Tuesday. Can she do it? Let's do it. I like that. Let's do it. Thanks, Big Balls. B. Gill Studios. Campia said Gunn needs to decide to either direct or be a CEO, because if this is what a film looks like when he's not directing, then DC is trouble. I mean, there's something to that. Yeah, there's something to that. I mean, it's like I think that's one of the things that's where Filoni's going to run into a problem. Like Filoni's running. Here's the thing: Filoni's running a company right now, right? But he's show running a television show.
Yeah.
At the same time. How does that work? Like people don't know, show running a television show, it takes up all of your time. How does that work? And so if you're directing and writing and doing everything, it is a lot. And then to do the first one, I get doing the first one. That's what he is. He's a director, Gunn, right? It's what he is. Yeah. He's a director. So he goes, listen, we got me. I'm going to direct this thing. Let's start it, go, and then let's just build it up. But is the third movie out? I'm directing this one too. It's like, what are you doing? What are you, like, build out, get new directors to enhance the visions and bring out the characters. It's like you're gonna keep relying on yourself to do that. I understand what John's saying there. I get it. Derek, I saw Supergirl at a fan event here in Denver last night, and I was underwhelmed. Neil Alcock was amazing, but the script, villain, and direction were just bad. I'm not really going to argue with you on that, DJ. This movie was just okay. Not bad, and the DCU needs a great movie. Again, not one word there I disagree with. DC
really,
has
really getting my hopes up for Saturday, you guys.
I know. Derek Johnson. DC has missed a few times on female characters. Cassandra Cain in Birds of Prey got nerfed into some kleptomaniac, and Supergirl, who was trained as a warrior in the comics, we get no backstory on her fighting skills here. Lobo was unnecessary in this movie.
Dang.
Yeah, listen, this is the whole thing, right? Because she's supposed to be like some great warrior in the comic, right, Chris?
Yeah.
That's not touched on really.
Mm.
And I didn't know that until, I think he just said it, or I remember you guys talking about it. But yeah, I don't understand why they mess with the stories. I don't get it. Derek follows it up. He says, I know people say I'm a gun hater, but seriously, his leadership has to start to be questioned a little here with some of these statements and script decisions. I think it's okay to question the direction. I think that you have to wait to see. A leader also fights back on opportunities that don't work out. How does he handle this? You can observe his leadership. I think it's okay to observe the leadership. Questioning the leadership yet, what if he bounces back and he's able to make some really good decisions coming up? Now it's other people sometimes that sit around and go, "Oh, we're not doing anything wrong. They're gonna have to like what we're doing, or that's it." That would be a mistake. I don't know, Chris. How do you see it?
I think we definitely need to give a little bit of grace, right? 2 movies, a couple TV shows, and most of those TV shows relatively have been critically received well, sometimes mixed from audiences, when we look at something like Peacemaker season 2. But again, I think we just need to give it a little bit of time to breathe so we can see if there is course correction that isn't a huge, oh, well, you guys didn't like this, so let's take a total 180. I think you just go, let's take some of this feedback. Let's see how we can zhuzh things up. Hey, perhaps we do look at the source material a lot more closely and really pull from this instead of adding to it or taking away things that really need to be part of this. I'm hoping that these are all learning opportunities and that Gunn has his ego in check to be able to receive that type of criticism, because it's not just about him as a director. It's not just about him as a writer. It's about him as a studio head. And those are things that he's going to have to just take with a lot of grains of salt so he can make this the best studio possible.
That's the biggest thing. I think he needs to step back from the limelight. I think he needs to step back and just be an executive for a bit. And he needs to just stop talking to people on Twitter, stop answering questions. I get it. People like accessing him and stuff too. But you just step back and then just put together, punch everybody right in the jaw and say, this is the great stuff we're working on. And I got this team here and I got this and I got this. Stop being the star of the show. He doesn't need to be the star of the show. And I think that's the problem right now. It's not too late to change that.
Yeah.
Jay Barnes, I watched Supergirl and I thought it was good. I'm going to catch it again to cement my thoughts. I was hoping for great, but I think some reviews have been harsh. That's fair. I think Variety was harsh. Owen Gleiberman was like, he went all in. Did you see that?
That Variety article was scathing.
It was
felt like
weird.
a hit piece.
Yeah, it was weird. He's like, he really went in. I was like, I don't know, like who pissed in his cereal?
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty brutal. Jay Barnes, however the reviews box office turn out, I'm not worried for the DCU yet. I always thought that Man of Tomorrow is what has the most riding on it for the universe future. I agree with you. Right?
I mean, that is going to kind of cement how things are going.
That's it. Like if that movie succeeds, like overperforms, does great, then you're skipping. This is a blemish. This is a blemish. If that movie fails, then you have problems.
Yeah.
Then you have problems. And it's similar to Starfighter, to be honest with you. All right, let's see. Jay Barnes also said movie could have been 15 minutes longer for sure. Yeah, it's like 1:43. It's really short. It's a short movie. Yeah, it's a short movie. They cut out a lot of stuff they probably shouldn't have cut out. So
That's a shame.
Yeah, I wonder what I really would love to know the behind the scenes of this movie. Joseph Claps 8816. Hey, Christian and Chris, how many more projects would need to not be good for DC to reboot? And as an aside, if Gunn leaves, does DC reboot or continue in this universe? Would another reboot simply be the end of DC? You guys rock. That's a great question. Chris, I'll let you start with it. What do you think?
Oh, okay. I mean, a whole new reboot. I'm really hoping we don't have that happen anytime soon. But you have to remember too that Gunn's contract is up next year. So we could also see him leaving for just because he doesn't want to continue working there,
Right.
or because, the other execs there go, yeah, we want to get you out of here. Our board doesn't want you here, yada, 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 because of how these films have been producing. That all said, I think if we see Man of Tomorrow flop, that is going to be a big call for we need a course correction.
Mhm.
I feel like Clayface, honestly, is another little factor here of if this is a cool swing in that universe, do we go, okay, doing some of the weirder, like, again, the Seven Batman, the macabre Clayface, is that the kind of thing that we need to kind of do? Do we then maybe start introducing Dark Justice and making some other pivots here with some other characters that we can really explore horror or creepy stuff? So I feel like it's more so about course correcting their slate than James Gunn at this point, but obviously he's a huge factor in it. And
Yeah.
also, I wonder too, because we always talk about Gunn in this situation, he's also there with Safran.
Yeah.
And we rarely talk about him and what he's doing. And again, I think it's because Gunn is much more public facing. But I
He's
feel
the
like
business guy,
Safran,
but he's like the business guy too.
but then that comes down to like how these trailers are being marketed,
True.
who we
True.
are putting up on the slate.
Yeah.
These should be a dynamic duo, and I feel like we need a little bit more of that business acumen, maybe sneaking in over on Gunn's side so that we can play their cards well.
Yeah, the problem with the Clayface argument, though, Chris, is that even if it does well, right, the movie's only $40 million, right?
Yeah.
So it really it has such a lower ceiling to hit than these other movies, and the problem is not just a Warner Brothers DC problem; it's a Hollywood studio problem. They dump this 175, 200 million, $250 million into these movies, and then they lose all this money, and they go, "What happened?" And it's like it's just a different world. So like the problem is that if you're gonna change your slate and go to the darker types of movies and those if Clayface works, it's harder to assess that if that's what people want because you're making it for such a lower audience that if you're just going to start making 40 to 50 million dollar movies, then sure, then become A24 with superheroes. And if that's the reboot and that's what it is, then maybe that's what it is. And you give lower actors, not lower actors, but lesser known actors
Yeah.
a chance to shine and turn it. But that's not what they're going to do because there's too much at stake with IP. You know what I mean? But I think that if Man of Tomorrow fails, if it fails, then Gunn will most likely leave, right?
Yeah.
If it just breaks even, he might leave, but they might continue his universe if it breaks even. Because with a break even, they can go, okay, we still have an audience here that wants to see this. Let's maybe bring someone else in to reshape this, but continue to tell these stories because there's still interest there. If it bombs, it tells the studio no one really is responding to this. And that's where they have to look and say, okay, let's do it. I just think this is another reason you cannot go for your next movie after Man of Tomorrow. You cannot go obscure. You can't, because regardless of what Clayface does, unless again you're going to start making movies for $40 million. If you're going the big budget movies, you cannot go for some obscure thing and Gunn going, oh wow, I'm gonna make another weird superhero movie now. Let's do this weird kind of quirky, funny things. Like you gotta get outside of your play box, your sandbox, and you have to try to do the thing people want to see. You got to listen to the audience. So, all right, next one after that. Mad Dog. Chris currently at 55 questions. Doing pretty well right now. Even though I'm a glass half full person, this Gunn thing isn't working for me. The writer of this is also writing Wonder Woman and Teen Titans with no resume. Yeah, she didn't really. I don't know. Like, how did they know each other?
I'm not sure.
Because he takes care of his friends. Is that what happened? Did he take care of his friends? I don't. He might just. I don't know how he knows her. Does anybody know how they started working together? PLD, I don't know if you know information on that. If Like, how did they start working together? Did she work on some projects? I don't know, whatever it might be. Or were they friends? And that could be an issue. But I think that they should let her write the first draft of it, and then maybe of Wonder Woman, and then bring in somebody else. Because that script on Supergirl is pretty awful. Cadaver 82, should studios stop sending promo boxes in mass to promote? They're already going, and I assume it doesn't get any ticket money, expensive to produce, ship. It's a great question in general. A lot of these studios do for a lot of different things, even for like the Critics' Choice stuff. They send like big, huge things. They spend tons of money to promote these movies and get these things out there. I think it's more so it's like, again, more of a commercial. Like, you post about it, they want you to post about it, you post about it, and it brings awareness to it. So they're essentially paying for marketing. They're not telling you to say anything about the movie. They're just saying, hey, look what they sent. And they send this thing out, and it's a commercial.
Yeah. Well, and people love unboxing. I've
Yeah.
never really understood it.
Me either.
But people, like, when I got my Arcane book, which I was really genuinely excited
Oh,
about,
yeah.
that blew up on my Instagram of
Wow.
just I'm just opening a book that I want to
Yeah.
read by myself.
People love that stuff. I know it's
Yeah.
true. It's true. There's channels that are dedicated to it.
Dedicated, yeah.
Ron H, due to circumstances, I did not watch Supergirl. I went to Hooters Toronto. Are they still there you go, they're still open. They are all not wearing pants. Despite repeated requests, they wear them. Fair enough. Speaking of pants, putting them on and planning some mischief. I'm low-key up in this seat. Have Deslipo and Logum watch Hollywood. I watched Hollywood. Okay. Hollywood, be cool. Chris, Hollywood, be cooler than Christian. Watch it before he does. Maddie B knows what's up. Will you? Kevin Smith should be paying me for all this shilling. I know, I gotta see this Hollywood thing.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
It's a pilot that Kevin Smith did, apparently. He tells about it
Oh.
all the time. Nathan Drake, John's impression of the villain during his review had me dying. He said it's probably the worst superhero villain he's ever seen in a movie.
Dang.
PLD, can you get that impression of the villain? If you can, you clip it out and just tell me when, and I'll play it. Oh, I'd like to see it. The G-Man. Hi. I have a work project today. Thanks, G-Man. So here's support. Have a great day. I wonder if that's the G-Man that does the Dark Horizons articles. Probably not. Probably not. Matt Krugman finished yesterday's show this morning. Back to G.I. Joe Marvel storyline topic. Isn't Danny McBride writing a new G.I. Joe film? Maybe he could be adapting that. Well, I was given some good information, or positive information that I don't think will go anywhere. But apparently what they were telling me is that Hasbro actually does own the Marvel storyline of the comics, which I hope that they would adapt, because those storylines are great. They can make a whole damn TV show out of that storyline. But I don't know. I'd love to interview Danny McBride and see if that's the case. Put him on the list, PLD. Put him on the list. Mike Joyce, I'm still seeing Supergirl opening night in IMAX, but if I hadn't already used a non-transferable free ticket, I'd wait a bit before checking it out. I got a chance. I mean, I saw it in fake IMAX, so I really can't say whether or not it's worth seeing in IMAX. So I don't know. Yeah, are you going to see it in IMAX, Chris?
I don't know if I am.
Okay.
I have ELLIS, so I usually try to opt for it.
That's fair. All right, let's see. Next one after that. Smaug. Hey, Christian and Chris. First time seeing Chris live on the show. You rock. Love your input on Campia Show. Hey, you guys seen Widow's Bay on episode 8? I love it. Always great seeing fellow Welshman Matthew Reese and quality stuff. No, Roxy swears by this show.
It's so good.
Is it good?
It's so good. It's one of those things where I binge through it, and my podcast partner, Amy Newman, went on this huge rant with me of, I don't think you're as scared of horror as you actually are, because this show is legitimately scary. And I've been like, it's so fun. Highly recommend it. 10 episodes on Apple TV.
Okay.
Matthew Rice is incredible.
Yeah.
Or Reese, excuse me.
It might be Rice. I don't know.
Cannot tell his dialect at all. Like he does a phenomenal American dialect. The other actors in it are so fun. It's Stephen King meets Parks and Rec. It's a delight. It's so fun and weird, and it kind of feels like that Monster of the Week kind of thing that X-Files could do, but with a through line that makes it, you keep going back episodically. It's just really well done. It's fun, and I'm excited that it's getting a season 2.
Yeah. Christopher AO2. Christian, was Supergirl better than the Incredible Hulk 2008? That was Marvel's second movie, and they're still here. A lot of people hated that movie. I'm the wrong person to ask, because I love the Hulk 2008. I love that movie. People rank it like one of their last movies. I don't. I really enjoy it. I think this is Hulk is a much better movie than Supergirl. I think the reason why the second movie from Marvel didn't do well is the circumstance where it had just come out, I think, a month after. Maybe I'm wrong, but PLD can fact check me on this. But I think it came out a month after Dark Knight, or around the same area as Dark Knight, or something like that. It wasn't too far off from Iron Man. Also, they didn't really know what they had yet, and they were trying to build things up. It was still with Paramount was running things, and it's that different circumstance. I think if a Hulk movie would have come out like 2 years later, if they would establish all that stuff, I think it would have done significantly better.
We also had Norton at the time really shitting on that movie.
Yeah, it's true, right? Yeah, because it's James Gunn, screenwriter Anna Nogueira met in a professional capacity after Gunn was appointed co-CEO of DC Studios in 2022. Nogueira had previously been hired to pen a Supergirl spinoff for the previous DCEU regime, but Gunn was so impressed by her vision and script for the newly rebooted Supergirl that he brought her on board. Okay, that's from PLD. Okay, great.
The whole no resume thing too. She did write for television, and I'm assuming she also probably did spec scripts and all kinds of things like that too, which is what writers do to get noticed by studios.
So maybe maybe just not a thick film resume, but TV. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Iron Man was May 2008. Hulk was June 2008. Like they back to back, and then the Dark Knight was a month later in July. So Hulk came out. That's the wrong time to come out. Wrong time to come out. They were trying to figure themselves out, like May and then June, and then the two Marvel movies back to back like that. Usually they go like May and then December, right? But May to June, yeah, that's. I think that was a big problem too. Johnny Patrice, Supergirl will take the hit, but she'll be fine. Yeah, she'll be all right. Should be okay. Vicious Soldier, can Supergirl make its budget back in streaming? I don't know how streaming works. I don't know how they equate that.
I don't see people paying to like watch it on demand. I feel like they'd wait till it's on their streamer, and then if you're watching it on a platform that has commercials in the middle of your movie, you can make it back. Right. But unless a whole bunch of people are signing up for a subscription simply to watch this movie, I don't know how they recoup cost.
Now, if you're asking the question similar to how this helped Superman, when digital dropped it first, that you can't get it on like streaming, you have to pay for it, like $19.99. Yeah, that can add some money to it. I mean, that's what happened with Superman. Superman added some more money when it came out on digital. And another movie that continues to make money, Obsession, comes out on digital on like Monday or Tuesday, right? Yeah. That movie's still going to be in the theaters making tons of money, and it's going to make even more money on digital, and it'll add to that. So yeah, you can streaming that way. Yes, you can add some more money, but can it make its budget back? No, I don't think it'll be enough to do that. Depending on how much it makes in the theater. Derek Johnson, the Flash movie was A++ grade garbage. I'm saying this as someone who's been waiting for a Flash movie since John W. Shipp's TV show. Yeah, I didn't think it was garbage. I thought I know that I'm definitely a minority, but like I will definitely be on the same page as everyone's at the beginning, and that stupid baby scene. It's the worst. It's the worst, and the CGI is so bad, and I was always so upset in how Andy Muschietti responded to that. That it was intentional. Like, then you should not be. And I love Andy, but you shouldn't be directing if that's your take on that. And then, which he really knows. I wish he'd just stay in Derry, because that Welcome to Derry show was the best. Show was awesome.
Things.
It's awesome. And then anyway, the ending of that movie was the shits. So Ron H. The only thing that can save the DCU is the Wonder Twins form a piece of shit shape of an ass hat. I need better pants. Keep falling. Okay. Larry Quadrats, psyched for Supergirl, mostly for the action, but I fear DCU is too light, shallow in response to earlier DCEU being too dark, too deep for people, not me. It's got to find a balance. It's got to find a balance of like really good stories with good scripts and good characters that you care about. You got to let characters marinate.
Yeah.
Christopher, AO2, they should adapt Under the Red Hood. Would be a good starting off point for Bats. Includes a Robin and Nightwing, and it's an amazing story. Chris, thoughts?
Ooh, that is a very, very good story to start off with. But because okay, this is going to give us a whole moment with Jason Todd? Do you still
Mhm.
need to build up Jason Todd? Do you have that in the movie itself? Are we going to figure out like this is a story about this guy? Do you have to have the death of Robin first in order for it to be impactful? I'm sure you could tell it in a way with like flashbacks and some really, really clever like shifts in time, but I don't know if you have to establish that character first so that you like understand the rage he has.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that story. Sorry. I don't know enough about that story, because I hear like Winston and Coy talked about that story quite often,
Mhm.
but like but you think it's if they can accomplish this,
It'd be pretty cool. Well, and it's basically it came from such a weird thing in comic books, right? Where people voted to kill off Jason Todd,
Mhm.
which is
Okay.
insane.
Okay.
And that's how we get Death in the Family, where we
Right.
have the very, very iconic cover with, you
The
know,
the
Bats holding
crowbar.
Robin and
Oh,
everything,
what
and the
is it?
crowbar moment
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
Joker.
yeah.
And we have had other adaptations that kind of do
Mhm.
hey, we're going to bring that back and go to flashbacks of when Robin was terrorized by the Joker and now he's become this.
Yeah.
It's a bold move, and I don't mind introducing Batman with a Robin. I don't mind
Right.
that at all.
Okay.
But again, it's just will we have the emotional stakes of him losing his essentially adoptive son,
Right.
and then the betrayal and the twist of
You
seeing
gotta
him
build to it.
again.
Yeah, you gotta build to it. Here's so Peely uploaded Jeremy's impression of the villain.
Ooh.
Yeah, this has got to be the weakest villain I've seen in a superhero film. I really liked the quotable lines from the villain, such as and when he looks surprised and looks like he's doing a bad Robert De Niro impersonation. Yeah, he was awful.
1000%.
Oh no.
1000%. He does it so often. That stuff. He's like, woo, it's so stupid. It's so
Damn.
like he's trying to be intimidating, and it's like it's not scary. It's not scary at all.
Well, that sucks.
Such as
So I will be going to MacGuffins before this film.
Yeah.
Noted. Okay.
Yeah, you should. Okay. Johnny Patriza. I felt Superman should have introduced Supergirl before her solo movie. Well, they did. They introduced her. I feel getting to know her in Superman 2 would have worked better. I feel Superman should have introduced but they did introduce. You mean maybe a bigger part? Is that what you mean? Because they did introduce her at the very end. But you're saying to kind of really get to know her a little bit more, which I understand. M. Dean, was this karma for the Batgirl movie? These last few event movies really shine a light on the YouTube reviewers and how viewers are side-eyeing them. What? Wait, explain that. Was this karma for the Batgirl? The last few event movies really shine a light on the YouTube reviewers and how viewers are side-eyeing them? I don't get that last part.
I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know what that means, M. Dean. Can you explain that? Because I don't know. The last few event movies really shine a light on the YouTube reviewers. Do you mean the influencers? And viewers? Is that what you mean? You mean influencers? YouTuber? I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand that. Smaug, the big recent DC successes seem to be unexpected, such as Aquaman and Joker. There was potential for them to be big, but over $1 billion each. Why can't their flagship character and Superman reach $1 billion? Because we're in a darker world, you know. And Aquaman had a little bit more of a darker tone to it, and I think that Superman's never been. Superman's my favorite superhero, but he's never been the one that brings in the most money. It's usually Batman, darker character. People like to see a little bit more of, I guess, relatability or like more flaws in their characters, especially today. But I think their flagship character is actually Batman. As much as I love Superman, yeah. So, what do you think, Chris? What do you think? What's the reason?
I can see why some of it is because of the darkness we want in some stuff.
Mhm.
I think people unfairly, often think that comic books have a lot of black and white when it comes to moral integrity of their characters. And I think people often assume that it is a lesser art form, a more digestible art form, and that's simply not the case. And so I think when movies do dive into some of those darker, twistier things, it really resonates with audiences.
Yeah.
Because again, you don't need to dumb stuff down for folks. We
It's
don't
true.
need to be doing this kind of like second screen bullshit. Create stuff that makes me captivated and watches your screen. I should never look at a phone when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
I think when you have things that are a psychological study, or we get into like deep traumatic familial issues and things like that. It's stuff that people can gravitate towards while it's packaged with all the superhero swag.
Well said. David Dordeo. Hey, all. My mom is in surgery today for cancer. I'm sorry, David. It's second stage, so if you believe in higher power, thoughts and prayers are much appreciated. You got him.
Absolutely.
You got him here. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, and I hope she's okay. Please keep us updated and let us know, David. Brody Bruce. I don't think we will. Thank you, Brody. I don't think we'll ever get a studio to pull off a live action adaptation of DC source material as well as they can with animated. Really looking forward to Nightfall now. Absolute Batman. You excited for Absolute Batman?
You know,
No?
kind of.
Okay.
Kind of because of the whole, like, when we remove the trappings, right? If there's no Manor, if there's no Wayne legacy and stuff, and you just get like a distilled Bats, that's pretty fun. But I do totally agree with Brody here that the live action adaptations just haven't hit as well as the animated. Killing Joke aside, we don't speak of that movie. But so many of the things they've been able to do in animation, and it's probably just because it is an easier medium to medium transfer, they've just executed them so well, and they keep the heart of those stories, and they keep a lot of the things that I think live action studios are a little scared to play with.
Oh, yeah, it's true. You can do some more stuff with it and get away with it. So, all right, Larry Horowitz, Batfleck, Lost in Time, recruiting Entrigan, regarding to the universe, but it's DCU instead of DCEU is the way to fix everything. You're welcome, WB. That was German to me, but I'm sure you got it.
So Batfleck, we bring back Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yes.
Lost in Time recruits Etrigan, the demon, which is a fantastic character, Jason Blood, returning to the universe, but it's the DCU instead of the DCEU, and is the way to fix everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is, Larry, but I like your
I like
chutzpah,
the- I like
and
the
I like
effort.
you bringing up Etrigan.
Yeah, I like the effort. Nathan Drake, Thunderbolts cost 180 and made 380 was considered a loss, right? Yeah, because if 180, let's say 200 plus, I mean, probably just about broke even. Just probably, but with marketing and everything else too, maybe needed a little bit more. Probably needed close to like 4, right? Probably need, depending on how much the marketing was, probably needed close to 4
I'm not sure how much they spent on that.
yeah. So they probably needed, with a Marvel movie, anything that you're not making a profit on, you probably feel is not a win. So yeah. La Steeler. WBDC needs to throw a bag at Reeves' Pattinson so Reeves can finish his vision and have Rob be the DCU Batman. I don't know why the creative team is on. What is that? Is that the Batboob? But this other version just won't be. Oh, Brave and the Bold. But this other version just won't compare quality wise. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to do that, especially if you're. I mean, this is kind of my. Now I get it when it comes to a different like tone, right? With darkness and all those types of things that you can't make everything that way. And the same way the argument comes like when you watch like something like Andor, it's like you can't make everything in that vein of Star Wars, right? Yeah, but here's the difference. When you look at Andor and you look at it like I mentioned this, like an HBO Max show, that you feel like that show, even if it wasn't Star Wars, it just felt like it was high quality written television, right? In the same way that when you keep mentioning the Batman, the reference that comes in, you even said it earlier, Fincher. Like when you're putting Fincher's name next to a Batman movie, you're doing something right. Like you're approaching it in that way, but you're making it your own, but you're approaching it in the fact that this is just a movie that you would see. It's like high quality, well-written, developed show. It's not just the average popcorn muck. It sometimes is fun. I get it. But audiences want more to that, and they respond to it when you take care and you really craft the characters and you make us care. Because with Andor, I didn't give a shit about Cassian Andor. Oh, they're doing a Cassian Andor series? Who cares? And then they made me care because the writing was good. And if they would have done good writing because some people, it's boring. Yeah, that's the politics side of it, and that you didn't respond to that. But the writing of it was actually even little nuances, the things that they say and the way that they talk and things, the characters are listening to each other. I'm rewatching the series now because Sam's never seen it or watching it. And I'm just watching the little things that they say to each other. If that kind of care would have been put into like Obi-Wan with lightsabers and everything else and Vader, people would have really responded to it. Like not just the dialogue of like, the politics, but the craftsmanship. And the same thing goes for these movies. So I think that that's what Brave and the Bold should do is don't just put flop.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, right now it is Pattinson makes sense to me because he's doing a great job, but
Yeah.
it's just melding him into this other world that is brighter, shinier, more comic booky. And yeah, to your point, give me something that I don't want a middle ground Batman movie. I really don't.
Right.
Frankly, I would love to go into it and either love it or hate it. I want
Right.
to be polarized
Right.
when I see a
Right.
movie, frankly.
I'm with you.
And so you do need to, I think, have a bit more artistic integrity and have those pulls of, I do want this to feel like this kind of film. I do want this to feel like this kind of director, you know? And so if you have a Batman film that, again, I know I'm always comparing these apples and oranges, but when we had Winter Soldier came out, it was,
Mhm.
this feels like a 70s spy thriller.
Yeah.
It feels like a movie that Robert Redford would have made any time in his career.
Yep.
You know? And that's the kind of stuff we need here is, wow, this Batman film feels like this really cool thing that happens to have these incredibly high IP characters.
Yeah, I agree. I also want to make sure I forgot to tell everybody today's match on the Schmodown Vault. I'm going to bring up the picture in a second. Is a very special debut that people should definitely be watching. And I'll show the thumbnail in just a moment. But Chris, I don't know. Have you subscribed to the Schmodown Vault? Because I know you knew about this. Oh, you got to subscribe to the Schmodown Vault because that is you can catch up. You'll see the seasons as they evolve. And I know you. I'm so mad that I didn't know you back then because you would have been phenomenal in the Schmodown.
It would have been so fun.
But we have a very special match today. The late great John Schnepp made his debut on the Schmodown. In this match, it was him and Dennis Zen, representing Collider at the time, against Team SourceFed, Matt and Steve. And it's a really fun match. I hope that people will go and check it out. That's up on the channel right now. If you haven't subscribed to that channel, please do so. We're almost at 1,600 subscribers on that channel. We just ran it, and it's doing pretty good so far. So go and check it out, please. Okay. Did we do that one? No, we didn't do that one. Let's steal it. Supergirl was fine to me, but that isn't good enough anymore. It's kind of what Chris was just saying. Millie is great and is an okay writer, but get her off of Wonder Woman and get an auteur writer-director. I mean, that's kind of the point I was just making, right? You don't want to just get fine for these movies. You need great. You need special. And I don't know if Anna is the person to do that right now. Maybe she can co-write. Yeah. Connor Mullins, member for 8 months. If a gorilla went to fight a gorilla-sized bat, who wins? Personally, I think they team up and open up a law firm together. I want them as my lawyers. I'm going with that answer. It's a better answer than what I would have given.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Just man, bat, and gorilla grodd.
Yeah.
Solving
Former rock band.
cases. I love it.
Former rock band. Wiley O said, I stayed up to 2 a.m. waiting for the Bear season to drop, but it turns out 8 p.m. today. Yeah, I could have told you that. I saw that it was coming out today. I'm excited for that. I still didn't watch that special. Did you watch the special?
I still haven't.
Oh,
I've slowly been catching up on everything because I binged Widow's Bay, binged Four Seasons, all that stuff. So I'm
almost done with 12 Monkeys. I'm almost done with it. I'm on season 4 now, and I'm almost finished. So, have you watched that series?
I have not watched any of that series, but I always hear great things.
It's great. I love it, and I'm almost done with it. And it really, it feels like a one big movie. And I've seen a lot of people who I've told about it that are liking it as well. So that's happy. I'm happy about that. Ron H. Low gun. Will Moana and Maui win this time? That's funny. Low gun.
Every single time. I shit you not, you guys. It's so adorable. But also there are times where I'm like, are you good? You gonna be okay?
Right. We can figure this out. Unheard Sirens Incorporated. Disney needs to let Jordan Peele do his live action Gargoyles. Did he want to do that? Only live action remake. I want to say. Is that something that he wanted to do? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which would be so rad.
Why wouldn't they let him do that? Ron H. I'm Gurgi. Biatch. I got your black pot here. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Black Cauldron.
Oh, yeah, with his weird little voice though. He's just like Gurgi loves munches and crunches.
That's really good. John watched just watched the House of Dragon season 3 premiere this morning before work and still on a high. One of the best episodes of the entire Game of Thrones universe. It's so good. It's so good. I think we were off air when we were talking about it, but it was.
Yeah, I just fell off it. Season 2 wasn't grabbing me, and I just went, I don't think I like this show.
Season 3 is awesome. It's so good. I've seen 3 episodes so far. I've seen 3.
Okay.
I thought I saw 4. I saw 3. It is it's really solid. I'm excited to keep watching. Dark Smirk 1, Sword in the Stone live action would be great. That's a good one too.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one too. Yeah. Unhired Sirens Incorporated. Chris is right about the Fox Robin Hood fans. Speaking of, do not Google image search of Judy Hopps. Just the character name brings up some not safe. Really? That's terrible. That's terrible.
I don't like that.
No.
I know I usually say I won't yuck people's
know,
yum, but that's a yuck.
That
Are you
can't be
going to
true.
Google it?
Yeah, I'm going to Google it. Judy.
You're going to give it a goog?
No, it's all Judy Hopps. It's all Judy. I don't see anything crazy.
I feel like
I don't know what's
there
on
was
that
maybe
guy's
too much
algorithm.
Judy in Unheard
No.
Sirens search.
No, it's just nope. It's just Judy Hopps.
Okay.
Nathan Drake, worst villain, Krem or Enchantress? Ooh, Enchantress is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. They're both.
Crimson's potentially worse though.
He's that. I'm gonna play that impression again because it's so accurate. It's so accurate. Where is that? Hold on.
Yeah, this has got to be the weakest villain I've seen in a superhero film. I really liked the quotable lines from the villain, such as and when he looks surprised and looks like he's doing a bad Robert De Niro impersonation. Yeah, he was awful.
It's dead on. It's dead on accurate. It's so good. Okay. KCG. I'm not kidding. Nothing in theaters right now touches it. Touches what? What did he say?
KCG, what was your other?
What was your other comment? The House of the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Sam and I we were locked in. It's so good. Gopal. The only thing I know about Disney's Hercules is there's a lot of women who are awakened by Megara a la Robin Hood. Never saw the movie myself.
Oh yeah, Negra with her low voice.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I think I did it for a lot of people.
Oh, and Hercules. Okay.
Yeah, it's Susan. Oh gosh, I can't think of her last name. No, she's a Broadway actress. She was in Steven Universe, but she's got this really great low register where she's just like, "Well, great, Herc. It's been a real slice, but I gotta go. Thanks, Wonder Boy." She's just like very hippie too.
Is she the main woman in that?
Yeah, she's the love interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ron H. Every now and again, you want something furry. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Joey Pedras. I think it's unfortunate that the DCU doesn't get to experiment like early Marvel did. I enjoyed Supergirl a lot. Everything seems like it has to be a hit or the sky is falling. Am I wrong? Yeah, because it's a business, Joey. You know, it's like the thing is that if you've got to, the thing is with Marvel and all those things too is it was also a different time period, but the fan base has to be on the same page, and you got to get everybody. You're not always gonna get everyone on the same page, but you got to have the majority on the same page. And you got to have everybody kind of hoping that this is going to go in the right direction. So when you're just starting it, you need hits off the top. That's why I think Man of Tomorrow is so important.
Well, and when we're like being inundated with media constantly,
right,
you gotta rise to the top so that people still talk to you. I know we don't really have this as much anymore, but you still need to create a water cooler moment. You still need to have it so when you go into work or you're hanging out with your friends, you go, "Holy shit, did you see this?" You got it.
Yeah, you can't have forgettable movies in your second movie. This is a forgettable movie. Space Jesus 57. Love to see a live action Hercules while DeVito is still around. That'd be amazing. Mike Joyce, Lola Bunny. Enough said. Do I know what that is? Is that porn or something?
That is the hot bunny from Space Jam.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. Is that porn? KCG.
Sometimes
I shit in house. You shit in your house? I shit on House of the Dragon since the beginning, but this premiere just made it all worth it. See, Chris? It was beautiful from start to finish, and that budget must have been 150 million easily. It's really good. It's one of the better Game of Thrones things I've seen. That's it. Ron H. Can't be getting lonely. Dismissing BBC needs to take a deep breath. Just take it all in. Cherish that, BBC. Join us, John. Join us. Nice. Nathan Drake. How many slow garage door jokes a Man of Tomorrow? Yeah, people know that I don't like. I hated that so much. Hated it because it's like that's the type of stuff that it drives me nuts when it halts the. It was similar to like there wasn't a lot of that in Superman.
Oh.
There were jokes, but halting the moment jokes, that was one of them. They're off to go find Clark. And then hold on. It's a funny bit. And then Masters of the Universe does it every 10 seconds. in their movie. But I don't know. I hopefully not. Hopefully he pulls back on some of that stuff. I said that about Superman, but like he just loves to bombard shit with jokes, and it's like just pull back a little bit, please, 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 please. Okay. Absolute Batman series was announced this afternoon.
Yes.
There you go.
But again, this is another thing though where it's outside of the DCU. We're starting to get all these Elseworlds things.
Yeah.
Whereas originally Gunn had said we're going to have everything be interconnected. So
Right.
I mean, you can do it. He can do whatever he wants. But Elseworlds stuff, I just feel is a kind of odd move here.
Yeah,
I am excited though that the Miracle Man series is going to be
Okay.
canonical to this stuff.
Smaug. Not hating in any way, as I like some of his movies, but remember when Taika Waititi was the talk of the town? Crazy how fast the public moves after a poorly received project such as Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah. The thing is, though, is just as fast as they forget, they remember again if something comes out good. He's very talented. Like I hate that movie. I hate that movie in the same way that I really don't like the Last Jedi at all. But I think Rian Johnson's super talented. I think Rian Johnson, like his Knives Out movies and Looper and all that. I love watching Rian Johnson do that kind of shit. The Breaking Bad episodes, great. He had a bad movie, and it's like, oh, and everyone turns on you right away. And the same thing with Taika. Taika's hilarious. I just want to see him do different things and not really. I don't want to see his Star Wars movie at all.
That Clara and the Sun movie that he's got coming out though.
Oh, is that
Ooh.
okay? Does that look cool?
Yeah, that looks really
Good.
cool. The
Okay.
trailer is much brighter and happier than the source material.
Okay.
But he's even said this is one of the like more dramatic things that he's done. And
Good.
considering he's done Jojo Rabbit, I'm
When's that come
pretty
out?
hyped about this.
When's it come out?
I'm not sure. I just saw the trailer yesterday.
I'll tell you right now. That comes out October. So I mean, that's the kind of shit I want to see him do. So, and then we've got our good friend Smaug, who says Hee Haw will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Hey-ho!
It's really good. What the hell happened there?
Walker told me I have AIDS.
Casey G. That House of the Dragon episode was better the entirety of season 8.
Whoa. Damn.
Yep. This is what Matthew Garrett. Has anyone asked how this woman with 0 credits besides a short film is writing all the movies besides Superman's? What is going on here? I thought she did. You said TV, right?
I
Chris?
thought she did TV. Somebody in the chat just said she's only been on TV. So I'm going to just double check if there's any information.
I mean, not a.
Writing. Because it says she's a actress and playwright as well.
She hasn't. Doesn't have any TV credits. Or anything. I mean, that is question that I don't know what the answer is there. It's not. It's rare. That's not something that usually happens. You know.
Writer stuff. Let's
Yeah,
see here.
Lesteeler, Reeves is producing Clayface. Could fit his world. Producing does. I mean, in what capacity is the question? You know, maybe it's just part of his deal. Throw your name up there, make some money. I don't know. Maybe he's part of it. I don't know. Comic lover, Supergirl. Damn, you didn't like it, huh? Or did you like it? I don't know. Unheard Sirens Incorporated. Every time I see the acronym in HOTD in the chat, my brain thinks High School of the Dead. Chris, any thoughts on that anime? Why do I feel like Mike would really like it? LOL.
Because it's so much fan service, my guy.
Oh,
It's just tits everywhere.
Oh.
That defy gravity.
Okay, there's
It's
a lot of
wild series.
there's a lot of there's a lot of titas.
Yeah.
Hey, Harloff.
Perfect.
That's it.
Yeah.
Add
You would-
zombies to that. Boom. That's the anime.
You would love it. All right, let's see. Matthew again. Zaslav had a grin on his face at the premiere because he knows he's getting off the ship with an incredible buyout. I mean, he's definitely gonna be bathing in money and not worry about any of this shit anymore. No doubt about that. Armada, genius movie pitches. Jelly Roll is the new Aquaman. I gotta hear about Jelly Roll one more time. Ron H, no belt, pants dropping every 10 seconds. So Thursday. Thank you. Armada, sounds like Supergirl needs Creed needle drops. $1,000 every time you say it. Gopal, I think studios get a bigger cut of the PVOD than at least the later weeks of theatrical or overseas, with the trade-off that you now have more people at a time. So is that how it works? I'm not sure how that works.
I'm not sure.
I'm just
Seemed
gonna
like it to me, but could be wrong. Often am. Have been before multiple times.
let's see. Next one. Radio Mad One. I think we need to cut DC Studios and Supergirl some slack. It was only the second movie, the second MCU movie. The Incredible Hulk performed terribly and wasn't received that well either. Again, different scenarios, different time, and again, different budgets, and it's different. And you really can't compare those two. And the question will be, well, where I agree with you though, Radio Mad, is that you're cutting some slack. You also got to see where you go from that third movie, where is the similarity for sure. Yeah. Mad Dog. I think they have to start with Grayson as Robin. I think
That's
so
what
too.
I would do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. The Mattuine. Chris. Hey.
Hi, Mattuine. Good to
Awesome.
see you.
Aiden. Red Hood is Batman's Winter Soldier, to simplify. Oh, okay. Ish.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda. Sure.
Okay.
A little.
Smaug. Amazing Spider-Man 2 made $717 million on a $200 million budget and was considered a disappointment. Crazy how times have changed. DC would kill for that. That is true.
Yeah.
It is very true. The Amazing, let me see if that's true. Spider-Man 2 budget was indeed $200 million. And let's see, box office. It did, 709 globally. That's people would be very, very happy with that. I mean, it's better than what Superman did.
Yeah.
And at that time, it's social inflation and everything too. It's true. It's a great point. Hoth security guard. Catching up from before Rotten Tomatoes brought back average ratings. If you click the percentage score on the movie page, it shows the average. Supergirl has an average of 5.610, which I think is more accurate to use Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, that is way more accurate. I mean, that's the type of stuff that plays more. That's what they should show. They should show the average score. That to me is better than the Rotten percentage thing because it's not accurate. That is more accurate, right? Thank you, Hoth, for letting us know that. But it's at right now about 5.6, and that's not what they need right now. Mitch Mack 5223. Chris Carr, what is your favorite anime live action adaptation? In your opinion, what is the best?
Oh gosh. I mean, honestly, I'm really digging how One Piece is. I've really enjoyed how they've adapted that. Oh gosh, there was a really, really great one. I watched some of it. I didn't complete the season, but Yu Yu Hakusho was actually pretty fun too. And I've heard that there is a Rurouni Kenshin one, but I haven't seen that, and I haven't completed Kenshin. So right now, One Piece.
One Piece is really good. Jared, at least when it comes to critic score, Supergirl is the same as Man of Steel and doubled that. Batman vs. Dawn of Justice. We'll see what audience thinks this weekend. That's crazy that Man of Steel is that low. That's crazy. Did you not like Man of Steel?
I'm not a fan, but I don't despise it.
I think Man of Steel is Citizen King compared to this movie.
Damn.
I really love Man of Steel. I just watched it not too long ago, and I really like it. It's got some problems, but it's not 56%. That's lunacy.
I think it's fine. Batman v
Lunacy.
Superman, I did not like.
That is lunacy. It's 56%. Matthew Garrett, I have problems with both of Nolan's films. I don't think either one is classic. I don't even really think Batman Begins is good. The movie's awful. I was hoping you were putting JK on there. Just kidding, because again, I do not believe that I will ever that I will be on the same page of your opinions, because that's one of the best. That Batman is not awful. How do you think that movie's awful? I mean, I get your opinion, but I mean, what are you talking about? This is the guy leading the DCU. What? Who's leading the DCU? Gunn's leading the DCU. What the hell are you talking about? Is it Nolan?
PLD said that's supposedly a Gunn quote about that.
Oh, is that?
James Gunn. Okay.
All right. So let's wait. I have problems with both of Nolan's films. I don't even really think Batman is good. The movie is awful. Did James Gunn actually say that? I see what you're saying there. Oh, sorry. There you go, Matt. That's James Gunn. Okay, so my apologies. Okay. Did he really say that? That's supposedly a Gunn quote. Can we get a confirmation if that's an actual quote? Because what I'm just saying to you, I think that's a problem. If that's true, like that's a problem. Like if the reason I say that, you're allowed to have your opinions, totally, but
I mean, I'm
that
seeing it on Reddit.
it says in 2012, James Gunn made on his old Facebook account criticizing Nolan's first 2 Batman films. He said, "I have problems with both of Nolan's films. I don't think either one is a classic. I don't even think Batman Begins is good, despite the first cinematic dark take on Batman. So what? Stallone's Judge Dredd was the first dark take on Judge Dredd. The movie is awful." So yeah, he wasn't saying that he wasn't saying that Batman Begins was awful. He was saying that Judge Dredd was awful, which it is.
Okay. I was going to say too.
But
I can't find the actual
yeah,
quote. I can only see.
ooh,
Well,
he is
according to
pounding.
his Facebook that I don't have a screenshot of, it's a
Yeah.
bunch of Reddit posts. So I
I
don't know.
hope
He
that's
could
not
have said
you.
it though.
Yeah, that makes me nervous because Nolan's Batman movies are better than anything James Gunn has ever done. I mean that's there's yeah, both those movies, those first 2 anyway, are better than anything that James Gunn's ever done. And I like James Gunn movies. Just that's crazy. Okay. The Shay Markel. I could be tricked into thinking that Gunn directed Supergirl. Every Gunn hero movie has a needle drop with an innocent character in the foreground while carnage takes place in the background as happy music plays over the violence. That's fair. I mean,
That's true.
maybe Gillespie was just trying to appease Gunn. I don't know, but there's a lot of similarities for sure of Gunn-isms in there. Bojax. I want to see Jackass in the invite this weekend and save Supergirl for next weekend when it will really need help.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Then you should do that because I think yeah, it's gonna week 2 is really it's gonna need help. You just probably have to see it about 737,000 times.
do your part.
Yeah, Bojax. I've never been to or seen anything on Broadway, but I'm seriously considering watching Lin-Manuel Miranda's Warriors next year. I love that movie.
Ooh.
I didn't even know he was doing Warriors. That's great to know. I got to
Yeah.
pay more attention to Broadway. I will tell you what I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go and buy tickets to it. Everybody tells me how great it is. The Lost Boys on Broadway.
I heard so many good
Supposed to be
things.
great. I'm gonna buy. I'm very soon. I'm gonna buy tickets. Yeah, so that's good. That's good to know, Bobby. Bobby also says Skybound's doing a Transformers G.I. Joe animated show based off their comic that launched a few years ago. Their Energon universe includes Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Mask. That's cool. Is it going to be on Amazon?
Ooh.
So I'll watch that because they've. I mean, obviously they have great success. We're actually watching. We're going to start Invincible season 2 today. We finished season 1. We watched the in between little special that was on there before. Did you watch the series? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
So
still catching up though. I'm
yeah.
still not up to date on it.
Okay. So we'll be watching that. So okay, there you go. Thanks, Bobby. Also, when are you and Drink dropping more Invincible reactions? We're shooting season 2, episode 1 and 2 today. Probably have the episode up by Monday. Sam and I shot Andor yesterday, so we'll have an Andor reaction season 2 episodes 4 to 6 up tomorrow. The way that it's looking right now, and I didn't even think about this when I told Sam because Sam's coming back in on Monday and Tuesday to record. But I think what it's going to be, I think Tuesday. Oh yeah, because Tuesday will probably be the Obsession reaction. Friday we'll continue on with Andor. Probably if we have up episodes 4 through 6 on Friday, then 7 through 9 will be on the 3rd, and then Tuesday will be 10 through 12, and then the movies will start. So the 10th, if I get my schedule right, the 10th will be Andor, the 14th will be New Hope, the 17th will be Empire, the 21st will be Phantom Menace, 24th will be Attack of the Clones, 28th will be Sith, and then the 31st of July will be Return of the Jedi. That's the way we're looking at it. Aiden, I still think the best approach is having Jason and Dick be friends in the Reeves trilogy, and it ends with Jason's death and Dick walking away. Set the trilogy retroactively to 12 years in the past. Jump DCU with Tim Drake. It's a good one.
Ooh,
Good
that's
idea.
really great, Aiden.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Not bad. Okay, let's see. Is that true that someone just said that Rotten Tomatoes says that Sandlot is rotten? I'm going to
What?
stop using. If that's true, I'm going to stop using Rotten Tomatoes. Hold on a second. That can't be true. I'm going to stop watching. I'm not going to pay attention. It's 66%, which is still low, but it's not rotten.
Yeah.
66.
It's still too low.
It's still too low, but it's not rotten. Okay. Joey Pedros. They think they do a big tone shift of these darker DC movies like Clayface do really well. A Black Label universe would be sweet. Now that's the thing what Chris was saying, right? Is that it's a matter of what kind of budgets you're going to play with. You can do more of them. You probably do more of them. I don't know if you're going to shift your whole focus because you can't spend that. You can't make lower budget movies, and the studio's just not going to do it. What do you think, Chris? You think they would do a full on shift? Like everything would be low budget movies?
I don't think everything would. I think they'd
Right.
still have these big, blockbustery, ridiculous, bloated budgets. But I do think you could have also in there then, hey, our DC Dark Universe kind of stuff.
Okay.
And that is where you do play with those A24 types of not only budgets, but castings where we're not following, and this is true because I've got a friend who's making a film right now where it's executives being like, according to this algorithm, here's who we should be looking at. No. Just like actually cast some young, fresh faces and bring them in. And you can do that with, honestly, Constantine could be a lower
Right.
budget if you do a lot of practical stuff. Same with Zatanna. Etrigan, you could do some really cool stuff there. Swamp Thing, there's a lot of stuff that you can do that you just go back to like old school practical horror movie stuff that I think audiences would really vibe with.
Yeah. I saw someone in the comments asking me, what about Force Awakens? We're not going to do the new trilogy until closer to Starfighter. We're gonna after the Return of the Jedi, we're probably gonna watch the 3 seasons. Man, I looked at it yesterday. Man, I forget those shows for some stupid reason are only like 27 minutes long. So we'll probably do 1 to 4 for video 1, 5 to 8 for video 2, and we'll do 3 seasons, and then we'll do Mandalorian Grogu. God help me. And then we'll shift. Then we're gonna shift to probably go back to finish off not all of the DCEU, but some of it. Definitely going to do Snyder's movie. Probably do Aquaman, and then we're going to do the Harry Potter movies, which she's never seen, and then we're going to jump into X-Men, leading into Doomsday because she's never seen the X-Men movies.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So.
Damn.
Yeah. Bobby, Etrigan the Demon, who I imagine they based Damien Darkblood off of Invincible. Okay, that gives me a reference because I know who he's talking about there. Yeah.
Maybe. I've always thought of him more as like Hellboy, but with a little bit of like the Question or Rorschach dashed on. But yeah.
That's good. Mark, Jason, Ali. Thank you. That's very, very
Wow.
fine. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
I thought Supergirl's excellent. Oh, here you go. Problems, sure, but I don't think it's time for another restart for the umpteenth time. DC needs to just stay the course and let Gunn build the universe. That's why he was hired. I do think he puts his foot in it too much. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem, though, Mark. Like, if I agree that right now you continue on, stay on course. But if the audience tells you after Man of Tomorrow they don't want this storyline, you can't keep going. You can't.
Yeah.
You got to change. What do you think, Chris? What do you think about all these comments here?
I mean, this gives me hope. This makes me feel better about seeing this.
Yeah.
But I do agree, though, I hate when people are reactionary to feedback and immediately do like shut it all down, burn it to the ground. I just want to fail this one time. And that's not how failure works. You build and you try again and you do stuff. But I think you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think you see how this goes. I think you give it another little shot, see how it does on demand, see how the other movies do, and then course correct along the way. But I don't think you do a hard reboot for a while.
Yeah, you gotta wait and see. Ayoshi Mutsu, Christian, did you hear about Jelly Roll? Wow, thoughts? Stop it. Go pal.
Why is everyone talking to you about Jelly Roll?
I kept getting emails about Jelly Roll and his marriage. And like, Jelly Roll and his marriage are getting divorced. I was like, what are you telling me for? I don't care. Get out of here, Entertainment Weekly. Go pal. Studio gets 80% on PVOD at 50% theatrical. It's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh,
The
wow.
deals
Okay.
are what kills these freaking things. Ayushi, Chris, you need to see our Kenshin live action. It's 5 films. A
It's
lot.
5 movies? Okay. I need to
Lot.
finish that anime.
Yeah.
And also, okay, Aoshi, should I go back and watch the OG anime? Because I'm watching the 2023 one. And I'm deep into season 2 of that. So let me know if I should go back and watch the 1990s or if I'm good
Yeah.
with this one.
Comic lover. They embrace the comic book world of Superman, but not for Supergirl. The comic is vast and beautiful movie, looked like dry bread. No yucking my yum. Hey, listen. Again, there's very mixed thoughts on this. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. I'm so curious to hear what you think, Chris.
I'll text you afterwards too.
Yeah, please do. Mitch Mack, 5223 for Disney live action remakes. I heard they plan on Sword of Stone. I hope they also do Black Cauldron. I'm with you on those both. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Braden Thompson, who doesn't watch my channel because he says, has either of you seen The Furious yet? Best things in theater right now. Curious. Obviously, from my answer, that means that you haven't watched my out of the theater reaction of The Furious. Kidding, Braden. But yeah, yes, I loved it. It was great.
I really want to see it.
It's great. He's right. It's one of the best things out right now. Currently, 3. We have 3 right now left, and then we'll see if we stay on or we call it a day right now. Chris is doing pretty well, so who knows? Chris is in contention. Zekum Munagu support. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got to tell me how to pronounce your name because I know that wasn't right. Michael D. Random fun fact: Jelly Roll is an uncredited role in Mando and Grogu. No joke. Is that true? It might be true. It might be true. Is there a compilation video of all the times you scared Sam? Says Bobby. So I haven't done a compilation video of them, but there is one that I have never aired, and I keep forgetting to air it. Did you see the most recent one I did, Chris?
Yes, you're a monster. Every time I see it, I'm just like, thank God I don't work in person because I too am so easily scared.
I would get
I always feel so bad for her.
Yeah, there was a good one, the last one I got her too, because I have to find new ways to do it because there's only so many places I can hide. But what I did for the most recent one, we were watching House of the Dragon, and I hid behind my door. And so when she was walking in, I started to talk to her as if I was here. So I was like, oh, I can't believe that just happened. That's pretty crazy. And she's like, yeah, I know. And she's walking and coming to talk to me. And as she's talking to me, I was behind the door and I went, ha, hasha. And I do this stupid noise. Every time it's the same noise. It's hasha. And so there is one, Bobby, that I haven't aired that I need to air. Mike, are you and Sam doing Rogue One before New Hope? Yeah. So we're going to treat Rogue One like the series finale of Andor, because to her that will be. She knows nothing of this, and it's going to lead into it. I'll tell you, I don't give a shit when anybody says about if there's any like criticisms on the way that I'm showing to her. I couldn't give 2 shits because I'm so jealous in how she's watching this. I wish I could watch Star Wars this way, like to learn all about she's learning about the rebellion and the Empire. Like she'll know so much more. I was even thinking about New Hope, where you first see Leia and the plans of the Death Star and all that. That's going to mean so much more to her. Like there's a post-credit scene at the end of Andor season 1 where they're building the Death Star. She didn't even know what it was. It was so great. She's like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, and you will.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so cool. And like, she's never met Darth Vader. The first time she's ever going to see Darth Vader is in Rogue One, and she's going to really see him in action at the end of that scene. And it's like leading into that. She'll know how terrifying he is once he shows up in New Hope. Leading into all that, like I'm jealous at how she's watching this. So good job, me. Thanks. All right. Ron H. But KH, Jelly Roll's getting divorced. Yeah, I know, I heard. Michael D, who says, I lied. It gets me it's like the goats in Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Armada, I want a Pearl Jam Seattle 90s grunge biopic.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would be a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm bummed that Madonna one fell through. Did you hear that?
They were going to do a Madonna one?
Oh, yeah, shit. For the girl from, what's her face? Shit, man. Fantastic Four and...
Vanessa Kirby?
No. The Silver Surfer. What's her... From
she's also on...
Julia Garner, is that her name?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say she was in Ozark.
Yes, she was great in Ozark. So she was playing Madonna, and then apparently fell through because of budget or something.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah. Aoshi Umatsu, 23 and OG are very similar. No need, but if you had the time, I know you're busy, then give the OG a watch as well. OG's 95 episodes. Definitely worth it. Holy crap. That's nuts. That's a lot. Smaug, support for Chris to defeat Sam Eagle. Oh, he's not the one it's Mike right now. Mike is in the lead currently. And I don't know what Smetsy did yesterday. It hasn't calculated, so it could be him. But right now, as last night, Mike's in the lead. Alpha Spooker. Would Warner Brothers tolerate Man of Tomorrow performing like Superman, or does it have to perform bigger? Depends on what the budget is. You know, it's like, I think that you probably, I mean, you're going to aim to go, if the hope is always that it's going to do big, but I think the goal should be, we want to at least make as much as we did for the first one. All right. I think that's it currently. That's 101 questions. Pretty damn good. PLD says, no, Jelly Roll is not in Mandalorian Grogu. That was
Oh, we
good.
got one more from Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby. How do you think Sam will feel about the tone of Star Wars going from Andor to New Hope? I think, listen, this is what I said to her. I think New Hope will be all right, though. New Hope is not, I mean, it changes things up, not in dramatically. If I went from Andor to Phantom Menace, that's going to be jarring, right? Like, it's going to be jarring for her coming out of Empire Strikes Back into Phantom Menace, right? I have already explained to her that the tone shifts and that there are some that are made like a little bit more like on the younger side of things, though, too. But I think she's going to be so engulfed in the world already from the shift in the original trilogy. I think she'll be fine. And she loves droids. She loves droids and she loves aliens. And the first like 10 minutes is all about droids in New Hope. So she'll probably really like that. But I think I'm going to lose her in the prequels, though. I feel I don't think she's gonna like the prequels, especially after coming out of all that from Andor to the original trilogy to the prequels. Yeah. But I could be wrong. I just think because she didn't grow up with them. She didn't have. It's not her generation of movies. And then I think that Mandalorian. I actually think the season 1 and 2. I think she'll respond to because I think she's gonna love Grogu. Yeah. This is the last one for now. Oh, no, it's not. KCG. In my mind, the Odyssey coming out during House of the Dragon makes it competition. I can leave my house or stay home and watch Epic House of the Dragon. Can Nolan top it? I mean, it's Nolan. He's pretty damn good.
I think he will.
I think so, too. Maddie Bate. Warner Brothers reportedly views any global box office exceeding 300 million. We saw this before, Maddie. In the report we read at the very end, I think that's what Josh Wilding said. For Supergirl, according to Rap. Yeah, they put that in that article we read from Josh Wilding, but like, I don't know if it's a success as much as they would go, whew, got money in the bank, let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, it's true. And then PLD says Rogue One is a bit closer to A New Hope than Andor, honestly. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. We have one more question. Do we? Is that it? No, that's it. All right, Chris Carr, where can the good people find?
Oh, you can find me at It's Chris Carr on Instagram if you want to keep up with me. If you would like to take voiceover lessons, you can go to speakfriendstudio.com. In fact, next week I am doing a workshop on how to look for an agent if you are an actor who is really struggling with that. And my husband has a breath class that starts this Saturday, one of those foundational things that you need for all of your acting. If you are more interested in keeping up with podcast stuff with me, head on over to Two Filthy Casuals, wherever you get your podcasts, or here on YouTube. We've got lots of good stuff. We've got an episode that's going to be me and Logan coming out on Friday, just a twofer of us. So if you want to hear that lovely, ridiculous angel talk about X-Men, please stay tuned because that's going to drop tomorrow.
Well, there you go. Chris Carr, thank you as always for being here. I loved having you on. Is there any more? There's one more. Sorry. Ron H. Hollyweed is Maddie B and Ron H approved. Get on it. Thank you. I feel like it's kind of at this point. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you to Chris Carr. Thank you to PLD, Luke, Jonathan, to Sam and MK for doing the time codes. Really super helpful. And couldn't thank you guys enough for doing that. Thank everybody who put in questions here today. We got, speaking of another one, how many episodes of Invincible Season 2 will you watch today? 2. We're gonna watch 2 of them. We put 2 out per they're 50 minutes long, so we put 2 out per video. And that'll be out on Monday, probably. Probably Monday will be Invincible, Tuesday will be Obsession, Friday will be Andor. And we'll kind of repeat the cycle with Invincible the following Monday. So yeah, please go and check that out. You guys rule. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Please go and check out the unedited. Andor is up there now for members. We're doing our live stream, our exclusive live stream for members. So if you're a member at 3:00 on Friday, I'm trying to figure out what to do about tomorrow's show because I have a family event that I have to go to. So I don't know if I'm just going to call it or try to move it. I don't know yet. I got to figure it out. So I will give you guys a heads up on that. Oh, look at this. House Grooves. Kenshin live action is the best adaptation I've seen. Recommended 1,000. There you go, Chris.
I'm so excited to check this out. I'm really pumped.
Come back, and then maybe next week you can tell us what you thought.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys again. Appreciate you. See you guys on the flip side. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Did you shit in there?